Yo. Why's my camera look like this? Why's my camera look? Oh my gosh. All right. All right. Why does it look so crazy? Oh my gosh. Why does it look so crazy? Oh my gosh. Why does it look so crazy? Oh my god. Why does it look so crazy? Oh my god. Why does it look so crazy? Oh my god. Why does it look so crazy? Oh my god. Why does it look so crazy? Oh my god.
At Unhitbone super chatted $5.
So crazy. Oh my god. Sorry. Unhitbone, thank you. But now I want to put lyrics to this. You mind if I do that before we get into things? All right, hold on. Jesus. Oh my god. Why you oh my god. Why you look so crazy? Oh my gosh. 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 Why you look so crazy? What up, EPL? What up, Jessica Bowman? What up, Soul Cookie? What up, Unhitbone? Thank you for the 5. Here's your sound, Unhitbone. Get ready. Here it comes. Ready? Thank you, Whoosh Baby B. Thank you, Living to Dream. Thank you. What? Hello, Slow Boy. No, thank you, Slow Boy. Thank you, Blood Logos. Thank you for being here. Feel free to think. Thank you for being here. Kyle, thank you for being here. Empire Phil, thank you to be here. Living to Dream, thank you for being there. Welcome, y'all. Ooh, got a little beat on the back on Ushbaka. Kind of works. Oh my gosh. Why you look so crazy? Look so crazy. I've been like quietly building this new sort of thing over here. This new version of Ushbaka. Just adding things occasionally. Now I got a little thing over there. What up, Dr. Bob's Nightmare? Don't even feel bad about it, doggy. It's good to see you too, Brom. So y'all saw the title. I'm going to do a show that people watch. Hi guys, I'm doing a show that people watch today. This is going to get 2,000 views. You understand? Because I have a famous person's face on it, and I say something. Why does everybody hate this guy? But it's not clickbait because I genuinely don't know. And people have been trying to tell me, and don't try and tell me. I'll talk to you guys later on in the show. I'll even have people jump on Discord. But I want to find out on my own. You know what I'm saying? Here's why. Let's get into it. Hold on, I got some new nicotine pouches. They're jalapeno lime. I'm gonna have two of them at the same time. Woo. Jalapeno lime and coffee? Don't mind if I do. All right, so I'm coming into this fresh. All I know is every time I hear Ian Carroll brought up, I'll give you the backstory for now. All I know is every time I hear Ian Carroll brought up, so he's like, oh, great, freaking Ian Carroll. Blah, blah, wah, wah. And I don't know why. Because here's what I've seen. Sorry. Why you look so crazy? Oh my gosh. I'll have to play something else. That's too good. I need to play something worse in the background for now. I'm gonna just play a loop that I made. I wasn't supposed to show you guys that yet. That's the second time that's popped up because I have it on a hotkey. This is not great. I can't even use my letters. I can't even use my letters anymore. This is going to mess me up, dude. Alright, fine. I'll just open a song. Alright. So here's what I'm thinking. So to me, this is Ian Carroll. Ready? He's a guy who got big on TikTok exposing like Unilever and stuff. He would go into grocery stores. Confounded magic mirror, I break them all. No, this slaps too much. This slaps too much. I'm losing all the new viewers I'm gaining from this engagement farming. Sorry, I'll get to the subject matter soon. But who will know if I don't tell them? I need a mirror for reflection. No need to keep it from them if I can't keep it at all. Running out of solutions. Hope springs eternal though. I'm living proof of that. I'm feeling less than good. Now the silhouette. Hope springs eternal though. I'm in the magic mirror. I'm feeling less than good. All right, I just want some background music so I can think. So it can't be something that great. So I'm going to look for ambient. There's ambient song for a sunny day. Let's do that. It's not sunny. It's not sunny over here. I hope it is where you guys are. Honestly. Guys, I hope you're having a sunny day. I'm not. But I hope you are. Isn't that nice? Should I make myself lo-fi? I don't think so. All right. Okay, so here's my introduction to Ian Carroll. A couple of years ago, I guess, he started doing TikToks about, he would walk through grocery stores and find all the products and show you how all the products were owned by the same company. Oh, this sounds good too. Uh-oh. I'll have to take my headphones off. This will just be background music for you guys. Okay. So what I know is this. There's a guy who got big on TikTok. He would go around the grocery store and he would show how all competing products were owned by the same companies. So that was compelling to normies, but it was also, like, we knew that, but it was good information. He made it accessible. And then as he grew, he became known for just pointing things out that maybe people didn't know and making connections for people, and in a way that was very accessible to normies, because he has a normal, well, not quite a normal face, but I know people say he looks like Waluigi. He does kind of look like Waluigi. But he was accessible to normies. And then he started talking about Israel. And that opened a lot of normies' minds. Sorry for saying normies as a pejormy, but it's just what I'm doing right now. I'm sorry, normies. Nobody thinks they're a normie. He's talking about somebody else. 5 of you are normies. Okay. So he was accessible to people. And it was like he was inadvertently red pilling people, not intentionally. He didn't come from the angle of, hey, I'm the guy who knows all the stuff. I'm the guy who knows all the secrets. You know, I'm Captain Tapped In. No, it was more like, hey, what's up? You know, what's up, guys? What's with this? Pointing stuff out. Just out here pointing stuff out, you know what I'm saying? And what that did, I think, what I imagine that did, is he took that audience of people that were interested in Unilever and turned them into anti-Semites. But he had to keep his thing of being a normal person who isn't an anti-Semite. So he always frames things as Israel or something like that. So what? So what? I was talking on the group chat like yesterday or something. We were talking about Fuentes and how Fuentes doesn't have the full picture, and he's kind of pulling all of these people into this spiritual dead end in one way, and also I don't know, he seems compromised now. But so what? He's still changing the conversation. He's still bringing a bunch of people. He's J-pilled a bunch of people, red-pilled a bunch of people. He's made people understand the situation they live in to a very large degree. Yeah, he won't go full on, you know, SOS about it, but that's his business. So what? So he doesn't say also they're Tengu. Oh, Tengu. Well, that's on him. Maybe he didn't read St. John Chrysostom. But the fact of the matter is, he's got people pointing in the right direction. They have to get out of the reservoir that they're lost in, spiritually, religiously. They have to come to orthodoxy, and so does he. But he's a stepping stone. And in the same way, when I saw Ian Carroll, from what I've seen of him, which isn't a lot, but from what I've seen of him, he's somebody that gets people from point A to point B. He gets people from going to the grocery store and just, you know, buying poison, to thinking about the products, to thinking, what else are they lying to me about? To thinking, what's up with Israel? So that's my whole take. But every time I hear Ian Carroll mentioned, I hear groans. I hear people say, he's a Fed. Which is an easy thing for anyone to say about anybody. Just so we're clear. Oh, he's a Fed. Cool. Real intellectual. That's a psyop. Oh, he's a Fed. Cool. You did it. You said he's a Fed. You're the one who's smarter than everyone else. But maybe he is. I don't know. And so I want to get to the bottom of it. And so I'm just going into this fresh. I have some viewers that have said they're going to send me some info that isn't well known. Some low-key research info that others might not know of. And if you're watching, person who said that, I haven't received your message yet. That's what a Fed would say. Oh, yeah. Oh, everyone's a Fed. Well, that didn't work. Great, you've called me a Fed. Congratulations, you've called me a Fed. There you are. Send me the message, dude. All right. So I'm going into this fresh. We're just going to do this. I've typed Ian Carroll into X. Let's see what happens. All right. The first thing I see from him is, you're a effing Israeli. Go propagandize your own people. To who? To someone whose name is just Shapes. Oh, you can't see it. Let me fix that. Make the super chat goal and the time, no timer, and the 30. Make these things smaller. And we'll turn off the checklist for today. All right. Tengu! Hey! So somebody said Tucker Carlson should be arrested and tried for treason. And Ian Carroll responded, you're a effing Israeli. Go propagandize your own people. Okay, so off the bat, that makes him seem like a Fed, because probably Tucker is, because his dad was CIA, and I don't know. Nick Fuentes is convinced that Tuck's a creeper cell. But then, you know, everybody's convinced that Nick Fuentes is a creeper cell. I'm convinced that Nick Fuentes is compromised since Charlie Kirk got shot. So that's where I am. Yeah, you have to super chat me. Oh, wait, the box is still too big. Guys, you have to super chat me. Guys, you have to. All right, so, okay. So, so this is the thing. It becomes a domino effect. You're like, are you a Fed? Well, who do you say isn't a Fed? You say Tucker Carlson's not a Fed. Well, that makes you look a little bit like a Fed. Okay. Ian Carroll says Jeffrey Epstein wasn't Jewish, instead claiming he was working for Satan. Roseanne Barr interjected that Epstein had a Jewish last name, but didn't keep Shabbat. Tengu! Oh, Tengu! Carroll and Barr seemingly intentionally misunderstood the criticism that Epstein was ethnically Jewish. All right, let's listen to them.
He's a Jewish person that, but you look, but you look, but you look at Jeffrey Epstein in Israel, like that, like he's a Jewish person that clearly was a worker of Satan,
100%.
and he's not working on behalf of all Jews. When
he has a Jewish name, but he's a Satanist.
I don't think
exactly.
I don't
Please, can we just say that?
Yep.
Because
And a lot
I'm
of
so sick of it. I am so sick
We're
of it.
in agreement.
He never kept Shabbat, for God's sake.
Yeah, I don't
that's what
consider
I'm
him a
saying
Jew,
is that these people in all the religions,
Yeah,
when
they're
they
all the
turn to that
same.
evil, they are serving evil.
They're Satanists.
Right? Yep. But you look at Jeffrey Epstein and his.
All right, so far so bad. So far so bad. So far so bad. Ian Carroll on the Las Vegas shooting. Go back to sleep.
That we're not allowed to talk. Have you ever seen the map of that one thing that happened in Las Vegas that we're not allowed to talk about? Yeah, there's like a whole map on the internet. You got to check this out. So open up a search engine, whichever one you want, and type in these 4 words. That's the keyword right there. Map. It'll be like the 4th hit or something. You're looking for this one right here. Click on that. Takes you to this thing, which is a whole rabbit hole. So I don't know who made this thing, but whoever you are, you're a legend.
I don't have Stream Elements live right now. Thank you for helping me. I'm going to put that over here.
Snagglebeast tipped $2. I make a loud whooping noise, hoping to scare Forsh away.
I'll make a loud whooping noise. That's to the song. That's to the tune of "I whip my hair back and forth."
Super chatted $1.99. Tengu emoji.
Yeah, I made a new thing last night. It looks so sick. I'm so proud of myself. And I don't know what purpose it serves either, which is kind of fun. I have no idea what purpose it serves. I made it without understanding what it was for.
Teddy _ lifts super chatted $1.99. Am I a fed?
I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know if you're fed. You should know if you're fed. You should know.
Super chatted $3.66. I actually went down a rabbit hole. It's actually trippy.
Which rabbit hole? Which rabbit hole? Which rabbit hole? Tell me. All right. Yeah, I made a new thing. I think it's for when somebody, either I say something that's not funny or somebody tries to be funny in chat by being a douchebag and I hit it then, or when I'm stunting on them, you know, when I play a song and I'm stunting on them. Let me try it for stunting on them real quick. Let me stunt on them real quick just to see how it works, and then we'll get back to this really cool thing. All right. What song stunts on them? What song stunts on them? We'll do Snagglebeast. Snagglebeast stunts on him. DM'd you? All right. The video you pulled up about the Vegas shooter? Oh, all right. That's what I thought you meant. So here, this is the new thing I'll show you. So, like, let's say this song is making you go crazy and you saw, like, whoa, this is crazy. And I hit you with a... Right? Sick. Yeah. Wait for the beat to drop. Fight.
Never back down, no one else around, it's only you. These people got something to prove, what to do. Ain't no truth in their eyes. Someone dies every time you let it slide. Be a man, be a man, be a man. Let's see
Yo, I spent the whole night animating all these little symbols. You can barely tell, but watch. This occasionally animates. See it? This. Watch. Well, that. Look, watch the spider wiggles. A little wiggle. These, they all flip. Watch. Wah, wah, wah. All right. Okay, so Las Vegas shooter.
Which is a whole rabbit hole. So I don't know who made this thing, but whoever you are, you're a legend. It's incredible. Let me show you what this is. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna try my hardest to show you this stuff without getting this video taken down and my account's fucked up.
It could just be that. It could just be that. So yeah, we saw two things that are like, okay, he plays a little keep out, but he could be playing keep out for the cheap clout. Nice.
Because you're really super not allowed to talk about this for reasons. So this is our map right here, and over here I've got Google Earth up so that you can see more easily. So this hotel right here, that's the Mandalay Bay Hotel. It's that one right there. And they're hosting this country music concert right there in October of 2017. And then some super effed up shit happens. And this is where the map comes in. This is all
Limited hangout. But limited hangout, doesn't limited hangout only work when you live in like communist Russia or something? Like, it's not like people are only watching this nigga.
Tony, that stuff is stupid awesome. You could go into UI graphic design and make a lot of people really happy with their apps.
Oh, thanks, man. You know, I used to draw a lot, and one of the things I started doing with my drawings was I started modeling them after advertisements in magazines. I started like making like little areas and doing things like that. And I would make these big drawings with the format, none of the content. There wasn't an advertisement, but it would have the formatting of an advertisement because I thought that was an interesting thing. All right, so I'm going to play background music.
Evidence, videos, 911 calls.
Oh, this already has background.
Reports. This video right here, for example. So when you click,
Me and Jimmy are making all sorts of stuff. Jim Bob and Tony should make a trippy retro style game where we can be a saint smashing heretics and theosis. Dude, I showed my video game that I worked on, one of my video games that I worked on last member stream. And no one cared.
on it, it gives you the video, it gives you descriptions and timestamps. You can watch the video, click. So if you don't know what's about to happen in this video, don't worry, you're not going to see anything graphic. I'm intentionally just going to show you the ones where you hear what's happening. I need to remind you, you're just at a country music concert in downtown Las Vegas, and then all of a sudden, you hear that? That is exactly what you think it is. So the official story is that just this one dude just went and kitted out his hotel room with like an entire militia's worth of...
I did watch some of this. I watched, I think it was Flesh Simulator's video where he walked into the hotel and showed that how the police immediately covered it up and how it couldn't have been done. And there's like a video in the hotel room and it's like, it didn't happen there. There's like no shell casings and all sorts of other stuff. He pointed out a lot of inconsistencies.
At our 696 super chatted $10, you and Jimmy should make a D&D campaign. I'll run it, you be characters. Fuck the world up. Let's go.
I don't think I have time. Also, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. The only thing I know about Dungeons and Dragons is what I got from watching Harmontown back in the day. Did you ever watch that? EOD. Did you ever watch Harmontown play Dungeons and Dragons? This is that piano guy. Don't tell me. Satie. Eric Satie. Eric Satie. Gymnopedes. 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 Except it's in modern France. And you're a musician. And you're in your top floor apartment building. And your fish tank is glowing at night. And in the streets, Muslims are killing everyone. And you're playing with your little analog synthesizers to a recording of Satie as Paris burns. All right, back to this.
Ammunition, and then just lost his mind out the window. And just to be clear, that's exactly what happened. So everything else I'm about to show you is just like coincidences and misinformation and weird 911 reports and people just losing their minds in general. And it's mostly all fake because he's the only guy that night that did any shooting at all. Because he actually took his own life at the end of it. The cops didn't even get to his room until like an hour after he was out of there. Like, not like he never left his room. He just like, he left. Of his own accord, theoretically. On his own. He was all alone. There's no one else in the room. But anyways, that's why when you look at the map, there's all these like reportings around the hotel, and there's all this horrible shit that happened right here in the festival. That's also why there's this 911 call happening over here to the side that I listen to, that you can listen to too. You just click on the little link, it's all linked up, where he clearly describes that he had direct visual on two dudes carrying the things that, you know, in that hotel running in a direction, and he made a 911 call about it. That's also why up here at the Excalibur, there's like 3 different 911 calls about
I am slow boy.
Of the Excalibur. If you're not familiar with Las Vegas geography, that's where our dude is, the guy doing the bad stuff. We're like down here now in that building. But wait, there's more. There's also like 10 different 911 calls from the...
I look at this city and I just remember what Palestine looked like 3 years ago versus a year ago.
Tropicana saying there's stuff going on inside of that building. That's all these right here. There's video, there's phone calls. Those are all 911 calls. Then there's all these eyewitness videos of them like completely shutting down this intersection for what sure seemed like them suspecting there was some bad dudes around that area. Despite, remember, there's just one bad guy and he's just...
This is a little bit boring. Maybe I can make it faster.
Way up there in his little hotel room window, and he never left until he totally checked out of reality. While he still had like more than half of his stash of ammo just chilling with him, and the cops were not even at his door for another hour, mind you. He just was like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed, like the long bed. Totally logical behavior for someone of this persuasion. Then there's this absolute clusterfuck of 911 calls from the Bellagio, people reporting things like that. Again, to clarify, one bad guy there, that's it.
This nigga said interlocutus strands. It's hard to striate them apart. I'm going to find you, dude. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to put you in a headlock for that one, buddy.
But the Bellagio is like way down here. Where's the Bellagio? It's like one of these guys, I think. Oh shit, no, it's even further down. It's right here, way down here. Like, we're talking like this dude has somehow like made all of these dudes panic and think that there's something going on inside this building. Then you move up to the Mirage. There's more. Caesar's Palace, Mirage, right there. 911 call. You can listen to it yourself. It's recorded. The Venetian, same thing. Listen to the 911 call. That's not to mention that something seriously fishy happened at this helicopter tour spot right here, which you can see right here, where there's these 911 calls.
No, don't tough guy me, dude. You can try, buddy. Don't do that, dude. I'm an internet tough guy, dude. I'm a certified internet tough guy, dude.
Where dude's girlfriend calls and is like, yo, something super bad is happening here. And they're all locked down and they're hiding. And one woman was injured. It's really not clear what happened to Sundance helicopters, but what is clear is there was some super weird helicopter stuff happening that night. You can see them in the videos, like helicopters that aren't police, that aren't supposed to be there, that don't officially exist. But then people started digging through the flight logs.
They just be doing this stuff. They just be doing this stuff. These false flag type attacks or real thing attacks, real attacks against their own citizens. What would be the my concern about the Las Vegas thing? Because I don't know a lot about it, but my whole thing is like, what was that one for? Just more gun control laws? That's it.
All three helicopters have remote manually made. Turn off their transponders 15 minutes before shooting it, and they do not go back on until after shooting at the festival ceases.
15 minutes before everything starts. And there's this whole rabbit hole to be done with a special kind of helicopter. I'm told that it uses its exhaust to be its rear, like, stabilizers instead of having a rear propeller. Makes it super quiet. Anyways, sidetracked. Anyways, there's way too much here to fit into a short form video. It's already super long. I'll do a longer video about it at some point, but you should really go check out this map for yourself and just, like, think about it, think for yourself. There's a great documentary on Rumble called Route 91. I think her name is Mindy. Did a great job compiling, like, the story and the evidence. She's a little intense, but, you know. But she also doesn't go into this whole deep.
This is cool Haunted Castle Luigi's Mansion music, by the way. They're not beating the allegations with the Luigi's Mansion background music.
Deeper layer, and I don't know why she doesn't. I'm just gonna, like, benefit of the doubt, but there's a whole layer beneath what happened that leads to Saudi Arabia. Mohammed bin Salman, the transition of the Crown Prince, the Khashoggis, Jamal Khashoggi getting, shall we say, julienned a year later to the day. I mean, it's literally like, what would happen if a Jason Bourne movie happened in real life and then the government had to cover up whatever the hell had just happened in downtown Las Vegas? This would be the story that you get. It was.
Thank you, Josiah. Here's your sound, buddy.
At Josiah Lyron super chatted $5.
Everybody gets a sound. Everyone gets a sound. If you feel as though you haven't gotten a sound, then what you're saying is I'm a liar. And that's not true, because everybody gets a sound.
It's all just one psychopathic dude with an absolute truckload of weapons and bump stocks, mind you. Those never malfunction. And it just happened to take the police like...
Oh, I was just joking, EOD. Love you too.
Like an hour and a half to even get to his room. By then, he was already just sick of the whole charade and had already gone to bed. Despite
all right, I don't care about this. I'm trying to find out things. All right, he says, shut the F up, Israel. He's going hard. He's going hard in the paint. Why don't you shut your dirty mouth, Israel? It's like he's doing anti-Semitism, but he's keeping his job. He's doing the anti-Semitism, but keeping his job. It gets you. It gets the normie close enough. Look, here's what I'll say about Ian Carroll. He's not for us. He's for them. He's for them. What did AIPAC say? Designed by Iran to murder some... Ew. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Puh. Puh. Tangu. Oh. Oh. Tangu. They truly are the synagogue of that one guy. All right. Ian Carroll on Tucker Show exposed that Epstein was handling banking and money laundering for Benny Nadi, for Benny Netty, for Banana Tanyana.
You get to the end of that line and he is getting into the actual human trafficking side of it, the blackmailing side of it. Money launderers are the node that all criminal networks have to flow through. Money laundering is the network, the node that because it's not just like money laundering for criminal stuff. It's also if a billionaire wants to shelter their taxes or wants to pay less in taxes. And you can read the reporting about how Jeffrey Epstein referred Bill Gates and Sergey Brin and Benjamin Netanyahu and Larry Summers to JP Morgan for banking services. He referred a bunch of the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world to JP Morgan for banking services, right? Which is completely nonsensical if you take it at face value. But when you realize that that's like how when you're in high school and you need to like know the guy that knows the weed dealer in order to get into like, you know, the back door. It's like you need that trust network in a criminal space because criminals have to operate on trust.
Truly. If y'all don't scratch the like and subscribe, I'm trying to hit a new number today. Where we at? Am I at my new number yet? Great, I just showed you guys that the Crucible's on. Way to go, Tony. You just showed your viewers that the Crucible's on. Okay, wait. I'm at 1.79. I should be at 1.8 like right now. You guys gotta hit the subscribe count thing. You guys gotta subscribe right now. Especially if you're leaving to watch Andrew Wilson.
And so that it's like, you know, a guy that knows a guy to get you in the back door for the back door of the banking system is what that looks like to me. And who would know that better than Jeffrey Epstein? And so there's this false narrative that we don't know.
All right, we knew that. Let's see what else. Mark Livin thinks that if they deplatform Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, and Ian Carroll, you will voluntarily send your children to die fighting Israel's wars. Should we tell them? Aren't they all a limited hangout? Aren't the four of them? Aren't they the Avengers? Aren't they the Avengers Assemble? You know what I mean? That's the top four. That's the top four strange ops. Just all of them either Catholic or wonky. None of them quite there. Bro is going off. I think maybe you hate him just because of this. He's really out here trying. He's really out here trying. Oh, gosh. He really out here trying, bro. He's really out here putting a hoodie on, but making sure his hair still sticks out and then wafting his hair over his hoodie.
Beak Nose Semite tipped $4.17. Here, buddy. I bought you a gallon of petrol.
A gallon of petrol? Who said that? Who said that? Thank you, Beak Nose Semite. Here's your sound.
Woke up this morning to the world burning down over a tweet from last night. Project Constitution posted one of these audio files that was like a PDF in the Epstein files that was actually not a PDF. It was an audio file hidden. He used some pretty concrete language, not gonna lie. He's like, it's Erica for sure. As in like Erica Kirk.
Work, like, what can I do to make more money?
I'm getting overwhelmed. What's happening? The proposed Erica Kirk audio going around has been debunked, and I was definitely not wrong that it would be wild to watch. The winner once again was real Candace Owens. Who said it recently? I think I saw a saint say that. No, it wasn't a saint. It was Jay Dyer. He said, politics is the religion of the dimwit. Yo, that sounded like timeless. That sounded timeless. Jay Dyer said, politics is the religion of the dimwit. He cooked. Anyway, let's watch this. Let's be dimwits together. I'm gonna try. I can't listen to him. I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna find out why everybody hates Ian Carroll. I'm pretty sure I get it. I'm pretty sure it has less to do with what he's doing for normies and the fact that he is useless to people like us who are already way more tapped in and rooted in truth.
Woke up this morning to the world burning down over a tweet from last night. Project Constitution posted one of these audio files that was like a PDF in the Epstein files that was actually not a PDF, it was an audio file hidden. He used some pretty concrete language, not gonna lie. He's like, it's Erica for sure. As in like Erica Kirk.
Work, like, what can I do to make more money?
So she said, the more you do, the more you get paid. That quote's gonna be very important. Coming back to that. Candace weighed in today and said the audio going around is not Erica Kirk. It was sent to me many times over the last month, and my team was able to debunk it, which is why we did not include it in our series. Erica's verified connection to Epstein's orbit is via Faith Kate's next model managements and the model apartments on the Upper East Side. We'll also come back to this. And there's all kinds of bots and shills out there that just have all this crazy false outrage. Then there's people that like actually have respectable opinions, like Keith Woods, at least last time I saw his stuff, which is like, I guess, fair criticism. Criticism is fine, no problem. And I am taking down the original tweet right now that I've completed my investigation.
Good night, EOD.
Into it. And I have also come to the conclusion that it's debunked. But usually the false outrage is false because it's clearly weirdly emotional and ignoring what is actually said. I say that it sounds like Erica. I think it does. I think it sounds like her voice. But it's hard to believe, right? It's so on the nose that it's a hard to believe thing. So it's going to be wild to watch the Twitter storm that this is going to cause play out. And we've watched it. It's been fun.
It's speculative inside baseball. Is that what it is? I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the he said, she said melodrama political world. To me, that makes me want to puke blood. To me, that makes me want to puke blood out. Puke out all my blood. And it's like constant intrigue. Tune in next week to find out if Erica Kirk made love to Erykah Badu. I have it on. Hi, I'm Candace Owens. I have it on good authority that Erica Kirk is Erykah Badu. Huge expose. We're blowing this whole thing over. We're blowing this whole thing out of the. We're blowing this whole thing wide open. Erica Kirk molested Donald Trump while listening to Nicki Minaj on audio tape in a Chrysler LeBaron for 7 hours. It's just like, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Shut up, dude. Go away. They're killing us. They're killing us, and you're sitting here trying to piece every little last thing together. You know what? It's not for us. They're not for us. We already know. The people who already know are orthodox. They're spending their life in repentance. They're working out. They are creating beauty in the world instead of obsessing over the ugliness, because we know that we are going to inherit the earth. We know that we're going to inherit the earth. So we're not going to sit here and bicker with goblins. I don't need to get into the details. I don't need to be Destiny on Adderall, ignoring his son while his wife makes love to blacks. Getting in all the deets. Using ChatGPT and my own audience during debates. Scattershot. A million talking points. So I seem like I know what I'm doing. I don't need to be Tim Pool, rambling incoherently, contradicting myself every other sentence so that I appear intelligent because of speed. I know the story of the world. I know what's going on in the world. It's been going on since the beginning. It's not new. It ain't new. We're just waiting for them to catch up. We're just waiting for them to catch up. It looks like Pizzagate is basically real, Ian Carroll explains. That's kind of lit. That's kind of lit that someone that normie tier is basically breaking down Pizzagate. I mean, I've seen multiple breakdowns from Mouthy Buddha to Flesh Simulator to a new guy who did a really deep dive a couple months ago. A guy who just popped up on YouTube and got famous real quick. I forget his name, but he's been doing some really good essays. As well as, just researching myself in the 1800s, the pre-COVID 1800s. But see, this is the good. This is the good. As annoyed as I am with all of this melodrama, the good is making these things known to regular people. Ian Carroll started off telling you about Unilever. That works regardless of what side you are of the false dichotomy. I actually might watch this. From today's episode on the Retard Right, we discuss whether these people take anything seriously. The Erica Kirk audio file, Ian Carroll's. So here's John Doyle. John Doyle never names them. He never names them. This dude maneuvers like manure. This guy maneuvers like a bowel movement. He takes the form of whatever he needs to take to continue forward. I've never heard him name them. Ever. So let's hear him criticize these other people. It's a whole bunch of compromised individuals playing the game and saying that each other are compromised. Maybe it's like you know what? Maybe it's like this sort of guilty conscience thing. You know what I mean? They're constantly pointing out, that guy's a fed. He's a compromised fed. What are you? What are you, dude? What, you're the truth teller? Okay, show me all the clips of you naming the Jew. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go. Go now, do it.
On Saturday, Ian Carroll, who is perhaps the stupidest person ever, reposted a post on...
See, this is what I'm saying. The stupidest person ever? This is so crazy. What a freaking... This is all crazy, bro. The stupidest person ever. Like, do you understand? Like, the immediately, like, just This guy's a moron. Hi, my audience. This guy's stupid. What's your intention behind saying that? Stolen valor.
Containing an audio file found within the recently released Epstein files. And the original post was made by a Mr. Project Constitution, and it said, "Smoking gun, leaked to DOJ wiretap audio captures Erica Kirk scheduling underage girls for Epstein. I have been sent a bombshell audio file. I have verified its authenticity. This is not a rumor. This is not a theory. This is a recorded phone call from the DOJ's own website, hidden in plain sight within the released Epstein files." Which, like, dude, if they're high, why would they release it if it's, I don't know. So he goes on. We actually have the call. We're going to play it for you. Take a listen.
Why would they release it if it implicates them? Is that what he was trying to say? He didn't even finish his sentence. Is that what he was trying to say? My guy absolutely destroyed your guy. That's a great point, Sour Cookie. It's freaking blood sports, bro. It's blood sports. It has nothing to do with truth. It has to do with, I've aligned myself with this guy, therefore the other guy's dumb and my guy's great.
Hey, what's up? I talked to Jeffrey and...
Tony, can I fight Jimmy? No. You have to go through me.
And I'm going to his house tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna...
If you beat me, then you can fight him. But I'll have you know, I'm an internet tough guy. And a brap hog.
Ha, 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 ha. I'm taking my son. He's gonna set something up for you now.
Well, like, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow morning when I go to his house about it.
How much? Like, would I get paid? 'Cause last time.
I like to show off as much of my hairline as I can when I'm streaming. Hold on. There we go. There it is. I lost the internet. Am I back? Yo, this is the second day this has happened. All of a sudden, just a dip in connection. Yo, disconnect whatever. Hold on, let me wait till it restores to full capacity. It's acting sheepish. Why is it acting sheepish? There we go. Okay, we're going. Come on. Get up there. I need you at 10,000 kilobytes per second. It's a Tengu DDoS attack. I get it. Tengu! Oh, Tengu! All right, close that. Close that. I think we'll be all right.
Talk to him. I'll talk to him tomorrow, and then I'll bring you in the next day and you can talk to him about it.
How much do you think? I don't know what I want to do, and I just want to get some ideas.
I don't know. You're going to have to talk to him about it. I mean, I don't really work for him like that. I just bring girls to him, and they work for him. So you're going to have to talk to him about
Have another cup of coffee.
That's what I'm saying. When you work for him, I'll bring you in, and you can ask him what you work. So, like, what can I do to make more money?
Yeah.
Okay, so the post is still up. It has over 10 million views. Ian Carroll quote tweeted the post and basically said, "Holy crap, this sounds just like Erica Kirk scheduling girls for Epstein." And it's in the FBI wiretap, so that means that they knew about it. And it's so on the nose, it's hard to believe. It's gonna be wild to watch this all play out. And it's just like I already hate how insincere all of this stuff is, dude. Like, have you ever heard me talk about mass immigration in like this cutesy sort of like apathetic, like, whoa, it's gonna be wild to see how all this plays out. Like that.
This mahogany backdrop, combined with his, looking like a 14-year-old with facial hair is weird to me. It's very, it doesn't fit. It's like he's trying to be something. I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. He's trying to be regal, and it's just not real.
That is how these people talk about what they believe to be an organization where actual like child trafficking.
He also has a Trump Buddha statue in the background. That's a little funny.
And child sexual abuse was occurring. If you read the Epstein files, it seems to be the case. And I'm not relitigating this because everybody just gets.
So yeah, this could be like a, like a thing, like what they do with AI where you never know it's real. And so it kind of makes you give up. So you have these guys who are like, yeah, I'm talking about the Epstein files. And yeah, I'm talking about the dancing Israelis. And yeah, I'm talking about Israeli war crimes. Hold on. Thank you, baby. But I'm also being a goofy Gus. And I hear an audio file. I say, I'm pretty sure that's Erica Kirk out of all the people on Earth. I'm pretty sure out of all people on Earth, that is Erica Kirk, which is a little retarded.
It's mad at me for dragging them kicking and screaming into alignment with reality by pouring water on their fantasies. It's like, I'm telling you, hey, it turns out that's not actually true. And they're like mad at me. Shouldn't you be happy about that in any case? So like, yeah, if you're at all familiar with what I...
Well, no, because a lot of people are obsessed with the psyop, with the intrigue. I remember when I was like that. I just wanted to know all the other ways that they were tricking me. I was obsessed. You know? What else are you going to do as a Protestant? When I was a Protestant, I just was looking for all the things that were evil all the time. I was less defined by humility and repentance and more defined by, let me figure out what's secretly evil. People love conspiracies. People love, they want everything to be this huge thing. The fact of the matter is that helps the people who are actually doing it, because it's actually really simple. It's just, Tengu. It's actually just them. What happened? But people love getting caught in the weeds and it's fun for them. It's fun for them. It's what they do for fun. Is just think everything's everything.
I talk about on the internet, I take things like mass immigration extremely seriously. Sometimes when I talk about it, I get actually like pretty upset. You would expect people who actually believe the words they're saying about something which is far more immoral and far more disgusting than simply mass immigration to be taking this with a little bit more, I don't know, let's just say they wouldn't be making Instagram real.
Where did Ian find the recording and who recorded it? Nobody knows. It's just a reality show made for the internet. That reminds me of something else that came out. Another thing that came out that everybody just immediately latched onto. Oh yeah, that guy saying the tweet about Israel. Charlie Kirk said that Israel wants to kill him. That just came out of nowhere, and we were all like, "Yeah, I want that." I did. I still do. I still do. I do think Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Just the nation state of Israel and nobody particular within it. But I mean, I have his words talking about being careful and the Zionist stuff. You have certain things from him that add to it. The fact that they stopped funding them and the fact that he said that he was going to start going hard on them and gloves off. But the tweet about saying, I think Israel is going to kill me, that some guy was like, dude, he really said this. We just have his word on that. I blame Satan. Nice. But it's kind of the same. It just comes out of nowhere and we're like, it played to my, like, I do think Israel killed Charlie Kirk. But that played to it. I latched on to that. And it's not a great thing. It's not a great piece of evidence. Some guy saying that he said that. That's not great. That's not a lot. That's hearsay. That's literally just hearsay.
Where you've got some stupid e-girl who's just like, you know, doing her little e-girl pose, and then the text reads something like, me when I find out that our government is run by a bunch of child abusing. It's like, you clearly don't even believe the words that you're saying. Your behavior does not reflect that. So it's like, yeah, when I see tweets like this where, you know, this is a guy who believes apparently, or at least is happy to implicate or imply that Erica Kirk is somehow cast into this narrative, more so than already she's cast in. Now it is specifically that she is, I guess, working to get underage girls for Jeffrey Epstein, like in a sort of Ghislaine Maxwell sense, or Ghislaine Maxwellian sense. Like what is this? He finishes the tweet by saying, like, wow, it's going to be wild to see how this all plays
Coining Maxwellian.
out, or it's crazy. Candace Owens does this too, dude. Like every time she tweets out about all, it's always like the laughing emojis. Like she thinks this is like just so funny, and it's like,
I'm actually with Johnny on this one. I'm with Johnny on the spot on this one. I don't want to like John Doyle, but right now he's totally right. You know, me when I find out that the world is controlled by child molesting demon worshippers. Oh gosh.
like, okay, so the audio file was actually a controlled wiretap call between an Epstein victim and an Epstein recruiter named Haley Robson, who at the time was 18 years old. I guess the call took place in 2005, which, you know, with even the smallest degree of research, 5 seconds, that would allow one to see that Erica Kirk was only 16 years old at the time. So, like,
Too young to be with Epstein. 16? I mean, come on, he's a pedophile, but he's not a monster.
it's not exactly the case. Wires are getting crossed, but it doesn't matter because the post has already gained tens of millions of impressions online, spread like wildfire. And yeah, Candace Owens, actually, of all people, she was one of the first people among, you know, the usual suspects, the retard right, to come out and say that it was completely fake. Like, even Candace Owens said, like, hey, you know, we probably shouldn't take it there. And then Project Constitution acknowledged that the audio was not Erica Kirk after repeatedly asserting that it was, but then also refused to take the original post down. So are we motivated by truth, Mr. Just Asking Questions, or is it literally all just for social media engagement? And so then Ian Carroll comes out. He makes a video not apologizing for spreading, like, literally a lie. He just made a video where he called everybody who was upset about it a paid bot and a foreigner. And, like, he's smiling throughout the video, denying any responsibility, again, taking none of this seriously, saying, you know, his post prompted an evidence-based conversation. Look at this.
Woke up this morning to the world burning down over a tweet from last night. Project Constitution posted one of these audio files. There was like a PDF in the Epstein files that was actually not a PDF. It was an audio file hidden. He was a pretty concrete language, not gonna lie. He's like, it's Erica for sure. As in, like, Erica Kirk. And there's all kinds of bots and shows out there that just have all this crazy false outrage. Then there's people that, like, actually have professional opinions, like Keith Woods, at least last time I saw his stuff, which is, like, I guess fair criticism. Criticism's fine, no problem. And I am taking down the original tweet right now that I've completed my investigation into it. And I have also come to the conclusion that it's debunked. But usually the false outrage is false because it's clearly weirdly emotional and ignoring what is actually said. I say that it sounds like Erica. I think it does. I think it sounds like her voice. But it's hard to believe, right? It's so on the nose that it's a hard to believe thing. So it's going to be wild to watch the Twitter storm that this is going to cause play out. And we've watched it. It's been funny. But what's actually happened is a large-scale, evidence-based conversation about is this Erica Kirk or is this not Erica Kirk? And anyone that's watched that conversation on X has seen it get thoroughly debunked piece by piece by piece and shown that it is almost 100% certainly Katie Robson. And I'm about to show you that right now. That's not a dangerous thing. That's not a problem. It's perfectly fine for people to state their opinions online and then for people to discuss those opinions and share evidence and come to conclusions. No one was harmed. Erica's going to be fine. And the shills are going to keep chilling, and that's also fine. For people that say that, like, people like me post this stuff on X to, like, grift to make money, X does not pay you well.
Okay, yeah, that's about enough of that guy, dude. I can't take the, like, you know, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching, like.
What happened? All right, we get it. Next thing.
December 11th, shortly after the first plane struck the World Trade Center, the dancing Israelis. On the morning of December 11th, shortly after the first plane struck the World Trade Center at 8:46 a.m., 5 Israeli nationals positioned themselves in the rear parking lot of the Dork apartment complex. Although
Dork?
there is reporting that suggests that they may have been there in advance. We're not entirely clear. This is across the river where they have a view of the trade centers. A white 2000 Chevrolet van bearing New Jersey license plate JRJ13Y and the markings of Urban Moving Systems, the moving company that they worked for, had been observed parking in the lot as early as 8:15 a.m., 31 minutes before the first attack. That's the other report that I'm talking about.
Actually, hold on. hold on.
Resident, identified only as Maria, observed the 3 men kneeling on the roof of the van, filming and photographing themselves with the burning towers in the background. In testimony she gave to the FBI, Maria stated, all of the males appeared to be jovial. Then they smiled, hugged one another, and gave high fives. She wrote down the license plate number and called police. These men are known in the FBI files as the high fivers. Do I still have it all open? I think I closed them. All of these documents can be found online still. The original FBI report with all of the detailed pages going through the evidence, searching Urban Moving Systems, the moving company that they worked at. There is copies of the photos of the men with all of their faces removed. These are photocopies of photocopies of photocopies, and so they're all fucked up. They're blown out. You can't tell that right there in the empty white space is the burning towers. There were also photos on the camera, on the film reel. I'm not sure if they're in this copy. Right here. This date stamp that's on the photo, 10/9/01. That's September 10th, 2001. The day before September 11th, they were taking photos with the towers in the background, although they're blown out and you can't see them, with a lighter lit. All of this was found on their photography camera film when they were taken in for questioning. Because after Maria reported them...
We know all of this. Does anybody in my audience not know about the dancing Israelis? Does anybody here not know? Let's see what else he's got. But the point is, here's my point. Okay. I'm a little annoyed, but I also still think he has value to normies. Value to normies is good. Value to normies is good. Value to normies is good. Sorry, I'm worried about my hairline. Sorry, I'm worried about my hairline. Oh, Daniel. All right. When Erica Kirk sends you to battle Ian Carroll, what the hell? We got him, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Carroll is a furry homosexual. I don't want, do I have to read this part? Sam Hyde and Ian Carroll are Zionists, guys. Wake the F up. Ariel Pink is on a different thing. Ariel Pink is Jewish, by the way. I used to listen to him in Austin. He had this song, I wait for Kate. Oh, she's never coming back. That's him. Is that Roseanne Barr? Yo, I can't do this. Is that two Jews talking about how Sam Hyde's a Zionist? I can't see too good. Hey, yo, chat, I can't see too good. Is that two Jews talking about how Sam Hyde's a Zionist? Someone said, can never take Hyde seriously again after his crying about Charlie Kirk. Why? Because he has a soul, nigga? I cried about Charlie Kirk. Probably. Yeah, I think I did. What, you can't even have sympathy for people if they don't have the exact right opinion? Yo, I'm done with all of you. I'm done with everybody. Everyone who's not Jewish or a bot on X today sees what's really happening. We weren't born yesterday. The coordinated attack on Tucker is because he's way over the target, and if Israel fails now at taking over the world, it will likely cease to exist. Fingers crossed. I don't want to cross them too hard because I'll break my fingers. But hey, if anybody wants to know, fingers crossed started as a Christian thing. You're making a cross with your fingers. So it's not like a weird superstitious thing. It's a small prayer. Fingers crossed. The coordinated attack on Tucker, so there is no resource they will not weaponize to survive. Saying Tucker works for Iran is like saying Larry Loomer loves Nigeria. That's just like a Mad Lib. It's fuck. This guy said a cuss. This guy said a dirty cuss word. It's obviously an Israeli op orchestrated by Israeli assets, and a bot posting online makes it look authentic. This is good. He's also defending Tucker, who's probably a Fed. I don't know. You guys know, right? You guys know, right? You guys know who's a Fed and who's not, right? Right? Cue a million people in chat saying, everyone's a Fed, everybody's a Fed, this guy's a Fed, this guy's a Fed, I know he's a Fed, I heard that he's a Fed, somebody on freaking 4chan said he was a Fed, somebody on 9gag said he was a Fed, somebody on freaking whatever that fat guy said he was a Fed. What's that fat guy? What's that fat guy? It seems like Trump's announcement to take over Gaza, not me. It seems like Trump's announcement to take over Gaza exposed the grift of journalist communicator Ian Carroll. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why did the algorithms boost a former pro-Palestine supporter to 1 million followers in a year? Is he a Fed? You be the judge. Let's see what this black person has to say.
Trump's recent announcement to finish the ethnic cleansing of the Gaza Strip might have been...
Why are you dropping that beat, though? That's what's it called? I know that guy. That's that Philly rapper with the deep voice who died. His name's like Mo Baby or something. He said, I'm a slut. Get me lit.
Expose something a little bit more sinister going on behind the scenes like this.
Man, you're gonna get me freaking... You can get me copyright struck with this background music. And if I'm defending a Pop Smoke, Zorched. What the hell, buddy? Everybody else is like Jonah Hill. Thank you. So true, Extanglia.
At Extanglia super chatted $5. Disaster. DISTRACT on.
Here's your sound.
Whose footprints are these?
We're doing Metal Gear Solid sounds today. I only have so many folders. That's true though. No, it's those two guys. The one guy who was big on YouTube back in the day, he's kind of a dumb guy, big in the Red Pill community, and then he started a show with a fat, and they basically just make fun of Nick Fuentes all the time. Something cerebral, cerebral, flammable. It's something like Cannibal Carnival. It's not called that. That's a cooler name. Something Casino. Something Casino. Something Casino. Huh? What was that? That's funny, dude. That was your noise. Kino Casino.
This weirdo Ian Carroll. Now we all...
Yeah. Kino Casino told me that this guy did this, you know, like a lot of y'all get into the internet too hard and you go down rabbit holes and y'all like hanging out in BitChute watching some guy streaming to his cats and saying everybody's a Fed.
all know Trump got those loyalists who, even if they're on the right side of an issue at a certain point, will flip the moment Trump takes the opposite side.
Why you got to do this music thing? Here, I'll play my music on top and maybe that'll make it so your music doesn't get me copyright struck. Or I just won't listen to a black. All right. So, okay, so we know that John Doyle thinks that Ian Carroll is stupid. What does Nick Fuentes think of Ian Carroll?
Ian Carroll, the conspiracy theorist, he's making videos about the conspiracy behind Red Lobster, the conspiracy behind Applebee's, the conspiracy behind Burger King. He does a live stream tonight and says, where are you, Nick? We're all aligned on this against the Jews, and you are agreeing with Crowder and Tim Pool and everybody else. We need you. Why are you with them? And I would say with Ian Carroll, where's the evidence? What even is that? Everything other than evidence. They're going to say, well, Israel kills everybody else. Okay, people die all the time, actually.
That's a great argument, though. That's actually a pretty good argument. Well, they do that all the time. They did it to JFK. They did it to the World Trade Center. It's their modus operandi. It's their modus operandi. They do that. And they have reason to do it. And look at what happened once he died. Erica Kirk took over, said, hi, welcome. I have the mark of the beast. I have a mark of the beast tramp stamp. And welcome to the stage, Nicki Minaj. Let us worship God together. I mean, come on, give me a break. Give me a break, Nick. Israel did it, dude. What is this? He got a call, bro. He got a call, and it was a scary call. He got a call, and they said, we're going to kill your family, dude. You understand? We're going to kill your family. Yeah, we know. You're willing to die for this, right? Are you willing to see your family die? He got the scariest call of his life and changed his tune overnight. He saw Charlie Kirk's neck explode. And they said, we're going to explode your neck if you don't start playing ball.
People die all the time, and there are a lot of school shootings and assassinations. This stuff happens with regularity. Was Israel behind Luigi Mangione? Why or why not?
Why or why not? Because that had nothing. That didn't move the needle, dude. That didn't move the needle. This is literally what they do. Luigi Mangione didn't move the needle. What purpose did it serve? You could see the purpose it served. You could see the immediate aftermath.
Was Israel behind the school shooting in Colorado that happened on the same day? Why or why not?
I don't even know about that.
Was Israel behind the shooting of Trump? Why or why not?
I don't know.
I don't know if any of those people blamed Israel for the shooting of Trump. Was Israel behind the Las Vegas shooting? Why or why not?
At Extanglia super chatted $5. Erica the Beast Kirk be like I am the Senate and people are just oh she's nice.
Wordness to eternus, my birdness. That was just a sound.
Because the heuristic seems to be Israel is behind.
Ooh, heuristic. Nice, dude. Heuristic. Wait, I don't know that word. Sorry about that. Heuristic are strategies based on rules to generate optimal decisions. Well, I'll have to look more at that.
Literally everything. Literally everything. Not most things, not things we can demonstrate with evidence. No, they're behind literally everything. And if they're behind literally everything in the past, then it's safe to assume they're behind literally everything in the future.
What up, Eek?
And that is ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what was his argument there?
Behind the Las Vegas shooting? Why or why not?
Wait, this is not an argument. This isn't an argument. Bringing up a bunch of things that we're not focused on and saying, what about that? You're literally saying, what about? Are you saying, what about, dude?
Because the heuristic seems to be Israel is behind literally everything. Literally everything. Not most things, not things we can demonstrate with evidence. No, they're behind literally everything. And if they're behind literally everything in the past, then it's safe to assume they're behind literally everything in the future. And that is ridiculous.
No. That's a straw man. That's an argument ad absurdum. You're sitting here and extrapolating that if Charlie Kirk was shot by Israel, then that means Israel did everything ever. That's so dumb. Again, not an argument. Really whack. Not good. Bad. Really stupid. And it makes you sound like you're playing keep out, bro. Because that was so whack. If they did this thing, then that means they did everything. That's what you're saying, and that's crazy. Is that really? I expect more from you than this, dude.
That doesn't make any sense. Why? Charlie Kirk was Israel's top guy.
He stopped being Israel's top guy. He started questioning Israel. They stopped funding him. He begged for funding and they said no. And he said, I'm going to go against them. And he started doing it openly. And his shows became a platform for other people talking about the JQ. He would have his arguments and the highlights would be people giving him evidence of the JQ. The whole thing flipped on its head.
I don't know how much more clear you can make it. And here's a perfect example. Hey, Ian Carroll, why did you on September 7th?
Yo, this is a soap opera. This is like, these are all actors. That's how I feel, yo. That's how I feel. I don't want to be stupid, though. I don't want to be stupid and jump to conclusions. But I think they're the four horsemen of the ad hocalypse. Nice, nigga!
Here, tweet at Charlie Kirk, you're working for the Jews that killed Jesus. On September 7th, 2025, you tweeted that Charlie Kirk is working for the Jews that killed Jesus. On September 11th, you were absolutely certain that Israel killed him because he was this close to telling the truth, and he died for it. So what changed in those 4 days exactly? What irrefutable proof did you get in those 4 days? On September 7th, you said Charlie Kirk is working for the Jews that killed Jesus. On September 11th, the day after he was killed, you were certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Israel killed him to silence him. How does that even happen? Before we had a suspect, before we knew any of the facts, any of it, you knew for sure they did it. So, do you have ESP? Are you omniscient? Do you have telepathy? I don't think so. This is a grift. This is a grift. It is intellectually lazy. It is dishonest. You are making assumptions that you cannot rationally make. And if you want to destroy your credibility,
Thank you, Austin.
At Austin D'Italio 6,682 super chatted $10. Here's some money's big guy.
Thank you, dude. Here's your sound. I'm trying to think of his argument here. His argument is that it ruins the credibility. I think his argument mainly is that it ruins the credibility of actual traceable things with paper trails that we can clearly see. That clearly implicate Israel and clearly implicate the Jews. And potentially makes it a spectacle that could be eventually disproven, which would make everyone who is against Israel for good reason suddenly seem like a kook. But I think we're well past that point, actually. I don't think we're turning back. I think the cat's out of the bag with all that.
That's fine. If you want to destroy your credibility by blaming Israel for killing the #1 Israel defender in America, that is your business. But don't try to rope me into it and guilt me or whatever it is you're trying to do, saying, we're all on this side and you're over there. I've been over here, bro. Where were you? I've been over here. I was at Charlottesville, lest I remind you. Where were you in 2017? Were you at Burning Man? Sorry, were you...
That's pretty good. That's funny.
You in some commune in Portland? I was at Charlottesville in 2017. He goes, we're all over here fighting the good fight. You and who? You and Candace Owens, who was working at Daily Wire last year? You and Candace Owens, who was working at Daily Wire. You and Tucker Carlson, who was working at Fox News. In 2017, 10 years ago, I was at Charlottesville. In 2019, I led the Groyper War against Charlie Kirk, calling him an Israel shill.
Dang it.
It is 2025. Nothing has changed. For 13 years, from the time Charlie founded Turning Point until today, that organization was owned.
That's funny. Vagine says, you can't just go around blaming Israel for everything that goes wrong. Nick Fuentes, after blaming Israel for everything that's gone wrong over the last 10 years. I don't F with any of them. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're all at. I'm not getting any of my news from any of these people. I'm not really getting news. I just go in the back. I soak a blanket in unsweetened Kool-Aid, like a towel, and then I go in the backyard and I wait for the sun to come out, and I sit beneath the blanket and I just blink real fast. And eventually I start to know what's going on in the world.
By Israel and served Israel, and everyone knows that. In June of this year, Charlie texted Dinesh D'Souza and said, Nick Fuentes is vermin. We've been fighting him for 6 years. He's anti-Semitic. In August, he said, I'm anti-Semitic garbage and I need to be censored, and he would never debate me. That was in August. People want to point out, oh, well, he was leaning in the other direction. He wasn't leaning in the other direction. His right-hand man, Andrew Colvett, comes from Salem Media. Look at who's involved in Salem Media. It is a Christian Zionist outfit. It is in bed with Israel. You want to know how I know that? Melissa Straight.
Tony, don't let him change your mind. Tony, don't let him change your mind on this so easy because Nick is getting impassioned. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, I'm impressionable. I'm so sorry. I'm impressionable. I'm so sorry. Nick is right. He was the Israeli poster child until he wasn't, and that's what Nick doesn't recognize. I think he does recognize it. That's my point. My guess is he got a call, he does recognize it, and he's not willing to pursue it. And I remember after Charlie Kirk got shot, I was waiting to see what Nick would say. And when I heard him be like, this is crazy. Israel didn't do this. There's no credible evidence that Israel did this. I was like, what?
Used to work there. From Prager University, she also used to work for Unit 8200 in the IDF. That's where Andrew Colvett comes from, and he was Charlie Kirk's right-hand man. Charlie Kirk appointed Andrew.
What is that? Hold on. Let me hold on. Let me ask Claude about this.
At Extangly at $5, he only says he wasn't leaning the other direction because Charlie wasn't leaning towards Roman Catholicism, he was leaning towards Orthodoxy.
Yo, that's a really interesting point, dude. Here's your sound.
Whose footprints are these?
I think Extangly knows exactly whose footprints these are. What's the guy's name? Andrew What's the guy's name? Hold on.
Salem meet, and I need to be censored, and he would never debate me. That was in August. People want to point out, oh, well, he was leaning in the other direction. He wasn't leaning in the other direction.
Just that. People want to point out, oh, he was leaning in the other direction. He wasn't leaning in the other direction. But he did say that he was leaning in the other direction. He wasn't. But he said it on camera. But he wasn't. Why? Because of Andrew Colvin or whatever.
His right-hand man, Andrew Colvin.
Andrew Colvin. Was Andrew Colvin Charlie Kirk's right-hand man? And if so, what does that even mean?
I'm not immediately certain about Andrew Colvit's role, so let me search that up for you. So I think you mean Andrew K-O-L Vet, not Colvit. He was indeed very close to Charlie Kirk. He was the executive producer of The Charlie Kirk Show and a spokesman for Turning Point USA. Basically, being someone's right-hand man means you're their trusted lieutenant who handles the day-to-day work and helps run operations. In Andrew's case, that meant producing...
This guy thinks I'm asking for the definition of right-hand man. I mean, what does that mean in this particular situation?
Comes from Salem Media. Look at who's involved in Salem Media. It is a Christian Zionist outfit. It is in bed with Israel. You want to know how I know that? Melissa Straight used to work there.
Bro always freaking name wows me. And I've seen breakdowns where he's like, this guy's connected to this guy, and this guy's connected to this guy, and this guy, and he's got the names. He's like, and this person was rubbing shoulders with this person in this institute. I've seen people break it down and be like, none of that was real. That wasn't true. And they like break down, they're like, that person never met that person.
From Prager University, she also used to work for Unit 8200 in the IDF. That's where Andrew Colvin comes from, and he was Charlie Kirk's right-hand man. Charlie Kirk appointed Andrew Colvin to lead their struggle session about Israel after the Turning Point.
You didn't see the videos of Charlie Kirk literally talking about how Israel is just warmongering and him actively going to Trump and trying to make sure that Trump didn't go to war in Iran. He tried to make sure Trump didn't go to war in Iran. What happened shortly after Charlie Kirk died?
SAS conference in July. When Israel bombed Qatar in contravention of Trump's own foreign policy, who did Charlie Kirk invite on the show to do Hasbara?
Do you not think that they're this blatant? Dude. Here's something. Shout out Sullivan for breaking this down for me. Succinctly. Hold on. In 1973, they were losing in the Yom Kippur War against Egypt. Then Prime Minister Golda Meir called Nixon and told him if he didn't come to Israel's aid, she would exercise the Samson option. The result was immediate capitulation. Nixon ordered the largest airlift of weapons in history, and with the new equipment, Israel turned the tide. So, no, they are that blatant. They are that blatant. What are you, crazy? Yeah, they probably did set up the shooting of Trump. It was probably like, look how easily we could kill you. And then Charlie Kirk said, don't go to war with Iran. And they're like, look, now he doesn't exist. You're going to not go. And then they hand him a golden pager. And then after Bibi Netanyahu takes a freaking gefilte fish dump in the White House toilet, he puts his hands on the seat and sticks his butt out and says, Trump, wipe me. Wipe me. Trump, wipe me.
Explain the party line, Ben Shapiro. While Charlie Kirk played devil's advocate, he lended his platform to Ben Shapiro to give Israel's position. And on Wednesday, the day he was shot, Charlie Kirk met with his rabbi to prepare him to defend Israel at Provo. As he was writing his forthcoming book about the Jewish Sabbath. And this is the guy that was martyred for fighting Israel? If you think that, I feel sorry for you.
That's intellectual dishonesty, man. That's what makes it really weird. Instead of just being like, there are some questions here. He's been freaking, what's the word called? Where you kind of plaster, he's been going like from the jump. He's been like, you're an idiot if you think this. Dude, dost thou protest too much? You're making it too obvious, Nick Fuentes. Nick, you're making it too obvious that you got a call and that you're scared. You could say it may or may not be. You could say there's not quite enough evidence and I don't want to pursue that too much. But to say, if you think it, you're stupid, that exposes you.
Because you are retarded.
And there it is.
Snagglebeast tipped $2. From my perspective, I agree with Jim Bob. The Lady Nikki is protesting too much because he has been given a taste of life outside of the compound. He wants to be mainstream.
Yeah, maybe that too. You know, maybe he wants to be mainstream. I mean, that's one of his biggest faults. It's why I've always kind of been tepid about him. There's one aspect of him. You know, I always saw him as very honest and his political analysis was always robust, and I liked that. But there was this other clout-chasing aspect to him where he would make friends with people he hated. He would make friends with people he hated just to social climb, where he glazes Kanye West. Kanye West, who posts porn of nuns being raped on his Twitter. And he doesn't disavow Kanye. He says, yay, Kanye's so cool. He wears his merch. He plays his music. Kanye, who parades his white wife around naked through the streets. Kanye, who mid-interview walks into the other room to have loud sex with his white wife and then comes back out. Kanye, who 1 minute is talking about how he's given his life to Jesus Christ, the next minute is talking about how he's God. Kanye, who is emblematic of everything that's wrong with the country. And Nick glazes him. Nick has a blind spot for the Stars and Stripes. At the very least, maybe he's a complete psyop, but at the very least, he has a blind spot for the Stars and Stripes, or for the black and white stripes. You know what I mean? He sees the glitz and the glam, and he wants to be part of it. The nerd, the outcast, some part of him wants to be cool. And so he goes to the club with Clavicular, the druggie who hits himself with a hammer, and Andrew Tate, the retarded Muslim, and Sneeko, the retarded Muslim. And this is and he's sucked in by these sorts of things. He wants so desperately to be at the cool kids table, to not be the nerd. He's always had this aspect of him, and it's such a huge compromise. You have to be careful of the company you keep. And when out of one side of your mouth you're saying Christ is king, and out of the other side of your mouth you're saying Kanye's the GOAT, you sound like a retard. I think he's giving his audience too much credit. I think a lot of his audience just takes every word he says, hook, line, and sinker, and runs with it. I think he's cultivated a cult following. Yeah, I know he's muted. I'm talking. Airs out their text messages.
People want to call you a fed and imply you're disingenuous, but genuinely, when was the last time someone told their audience to get involved in politics? Not just voting, but taking the helm.
Huh? I know Nick's muted. I wasn't playing him. I was talking. What, you want to hear him yapping over me? What is this?
At this point, I'm convinced that Ian is an operative. Ian is pro RFK Jr. He said he defended Eric Prince.
You want this? You want me to sit here and tell you about my day? I haven't put my shoes on yet today. Now me and Nick are talking at the same time. Is that pleasant? Do you enjoy this? Which one are you going to listen to? Hey, you're hanging out at a club now. Oh, it's just a bunch of fucking noise. Sorry. Dang it.
You tired of listening to music's like the equivalent of eating a mayonnaise sandwich? Why don't you get yourself a big New York sausage hot dog?
Why don't you get yourself a New York hot dog? Why don't you get yourself a hot dog sandwich? Why don't you come on over here?
BostonStreetRecords.bandcamp.com. BostonStreetRecords.bandcamp.com.
You tired of making bad decisions all your life? Why don't you make one good decision once in your life and buy my freaking music? Why don't you go ahead and go buy my music? Why don't you buy my music? Huh? Why don't you go ahead and go buy my music right now, huh? Buy my stupid music, alright, jerk? What are you, polyamorous? Buy my music. Come buy my music, hey, come on, click the link, go to the sink, take a drink. We got CDs and tapes of it. about that stink, cause you know it's stinky, cause we get funky over here, people. And I ain't no funky monkey, man. Colossal Squid Records, bandcamp.com. Yeah, you can listen to it on iTunes. Yeah, you can listen to it on iTunes. You can listen to it on Rhapsody? Do I look like a swarthy gentleman from the South? Or do I look like a Sicilian scam artist? Hey, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just like you. Hey guys, you want to support my stream? Come on back, buy my music. It's nothing but pressure, and it's no pressure. Just come and do it. Then put it in your boombox and Baka. We about to have a freaking flying carousel, carnival, clowns, people flying around, light up buildings.
Pie Tunes, dude. I was about to end the stream and then Alex typed Pie Tunes. I'm dead serious. I was furious mere seconds ago, and then Alex said Pie Tunes. Yo, everybody owes Alex a thank you. I literally was about to end the stream. I'm so mad. I haven't cursed almost all of Lent. I'm just trying to focus on Pie Tunes. I keep going back into the anger and I'm like, just focus on Pie Tunes. Pie Tunes. Focus on Pie Tunes. That's really funny. What'd you get this on Pie Tunes? I'm so mad. I'm so mad right now. You have no idea how mad I am. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Yo, I have two emotions competing in me right now. I have the anger of multiple people in chat telling me the background video's muted while I'm talking. While I'm talking! And I have Pie Tunes, which is really funny. It's crazy that these are inhabiting the same place. They're competing right now within me. I was going to end the stream. I've cursed. I cursed on stream. That might have been my first curse of Lent. I didn't want to curse all of Lent. I don't want to curse ever. Dang it.
At Austin Italio 6,682 super chatted $5. Pie Tunes, Pie Emoji.
Timeout AC Ghetto Rice. Don't be soft. Nigga, I'll punch you in the neck. I'll punch you in your neck, dude. Hi, Rip. Hold on, the water needs to be choppier now. I'll give you the reticle so you don't get seasick.
At Austin Ditalio 6,682 super chatted $5. Can we get a sick nasty song to change the mood? Dealer's choice.
Yeah, let me see what I got. Let's listen to Creepy since Rip's here. I don't know if he's heard it. Rip, this has your sample in it. I don't know if you guys like the song. I don't know if I like it. I think I like it.
Creepy.
That's so real prosthetic. I do occasionally have audio issues. I understand your heart was in the right place. I don't know why that made me so mad. Sometimes something just makes me so mad, and I have no idea why. But you're good. You didn't try and, you were like just trying to help. Sorry for freaking out. All right. Let's get back to this.
People want to call you a fed and imply you're disingenuous, but genuinely, when was the last time someone told their audience to get involved in politics? Not just voting, but taking the helm.
At this point, I'm convinced that Ian is an operative. Ian is pro RFK Jr. He said he defended Eric Prince repeatedly. Defended the Gaza.
What was the song we were talking about earlier? We were talking about a song earlier, or did I only have it? Did I say it out loud, or did I only say it in my head? Because there was another song I wanted to add to Normaler. Could Creepy be on Normaler? I don't know what Normaler is right now. There's like 15 songs on it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense sonically right now. Hold on. I'll see, Jess.
Deal. He's on Joe Rogan with this
If it works, yeah.
Kabbalah bracelet. You know, you want to know why?
This isn't a Kabbalah bracelet, by the way. I know it looks like one. Does it? These are prayer beads. Hold on. Come on, focus. Focus. Beautiful, right?
Think that it's because I was talking to him.
Creepy has that 12 normal songs vibe. I don't even know what the vibe is with 12 normal. Let me hold on real quick. Let me just look at 12 normal songs. Let me just look at the song list. All right. So it starts with Big Old Man, Prideful Arrogant. What's Prideful Arrogant? Oh, that slaps. Babylon, that slaps. A Fundamental Change. I feel like a lot of these songs are more cooked than some of the stuff I'm working on normal air. I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time with them. All right.
And he was treating me like a robot.
I also have this prayer rope, which is too tiny for me, but I can't get it off my wrist. I think it was Maria's, and she gave it to me. And I put it on my wrist, so I've never been able to take it off, but the knots are too tiny for my fingers.
Because I texted Ian Carroll the other day and I said, you know what, man, fuck you. I said, I defended you. I said, when everybody was calling you an operative,
Wait.
defended the Gaza deal. Ian is an operative.
All right.
Ian is
Sorry, let me try and lock in.
pro RFK Jr. He said he defended Eric Prince repeatedly.
Do we like Queepy? I don't know. I like it. I like the song. Everybody was telling me to take the sample out, and I was like, it makes the song. It makes the song. I can't do it without that word. Yeah, I could sample a version without that, but it makes the song. It's like the cornerstone of it for some reason. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to lock in.
Defended the Gaza deal. He's on Joe Rogan with this Kabbalah bracelet. You know, you want to know why I think that? It's because I was talking to him and he was treating me like a robot. Because I texted Ian Carroll the other day and I said, you know what, man, fuck you. I said, I defended you. I said, when everybody was calling you an operative because of your Kabbalah bracelet and whatever, I said, I defended you. I said, and this is how you repay me. We disagree, and now you call me a fed. That's your go-to. It's not, I disagree with him, or...
I think that's another thing. Is like, I think we're all too quick to call everyone a fed. It seems kind of low IQ and easy.
I don't understand his position. It's, oh, he's a fed. I said, you're a traitor. And he just wouldn't. He's like, just talking right past me.
Like, you can have a whole show where all you do is call everyone a fed, you know? And I guess that makes you the one that's not a fed, you know?
He's like, well, this isn't about you or me. This is about Charlie and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's about me because you're calling me a fed and you're a traitor. I'll read it to you. These people, like, something's not right with these people. I don't know what it is, but something's not right. I'll read you the conversation.
I would not. God already promised me he'll tell me everything that's going on in heaven. What, am I going to put my trust in princes and sons of men? At the end of Revelation, it says, everything will be made known and every tear will be wiped from your eye. I want to go to heaven. That's the only place you're ever going to get the truth.
And it was a very weird conversation. So I texted him. I said, you are a really disloyal person. I went to bat for you when people were calling you a Fed. Now, because I disagree with you, you attack my credibility? Fuck you. He texted me. He said, watch the video. You're way out over your skis, man. Blatantly wrong, and it's hurting your credibility.
Wait, I lost him.
It was a very weird conversation. So I texted him. I said, you are a really disloyal person. I went to bat for you. And
I respect this about Nick, the disloyalty thing. Loyalty is important. Loyalty is important. And it's we're sorely lacking it on the right. There's a sense of loyalty, a sense of community, a sense of standing up for one another. Black people will be like, a black guy will go into a yard and shoot Cannon Hinton, the 4-year-old, in the head and say, I hate white people. And then his whole family will be like, he was a good person. He never did nothing wrong. That white kid must have been racist. White people, we're just all too quick to just disavow each other.
when people were calling you a Fed. Now, because I disagree with you, you attack my credibility? Fuck you. He texted me. He said, watch the video. You're way out over your skis, man. Blatantly wrong, and it's hurting your credibility, whether I point it out or not. Whether I point it out. Okay, but you're not attacking my credibility. You're calling me a Fed. Go rewatch your live stream segment about me. Did you think I wasn't going to respond? You asked for evidence, so I produced it. I said, you are saying, has Fuentes flipped? Disagree all you want, but insinuating I work for Israel or the FBI, you are a total piece of shit. When people were attacking you for your Kabbalah bracelet, I called that out as paranoia and said they were being ridiculous. Now we disagree for the first time, and you immediately jump on bad faith accusations saying I'm controlled op. You are trash. You agreed with me that Candace Owens did me dirty and didn't say anything because you didn't want to offend her. There was nothing honest about you.
If Are We Not Men doesn't post a clip today on his clips channel, then he's a Fed. That's just true.
And that's true, by the way. When Candace trashed me...
He said it. Why am I searching Nova Scotia?
Disingenuous, but
did you think
he was wrong, but I'm going to back him because he is on the right is not great in my opinion.
$5. He was wrong, but I'm going to back him because he is on the right is not great in my opinion.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that right now. I'm saying, yeah, okay, maybe Ian's wrong on a bunch of stuff, but he's helping normies. What am I going to sit here and talk crap about him? Tell everyone he's a Fed? That's whack. Nick's wrong on a lot of stuff. He's wrong on Catholicism. He's wrong on Charlie Kirk. But he's also red-pilled half the nation. So what, am I going to throw him under the bus and say he's a piece of garbage, he's a Fed and a liar? No, that's trash. That's trash. Maybe we could all do with focusing a little bit more on the good in other people instead of looking for every single flaw.
I wasn't going to respond? You asked for evidence, so I produced it. I said, you are saying, has Fuentes flipped? Disagree all you want, but insinuating I work for Israel or the FBI, you are a total piece of shit. When people were attacking you for your Kabbalah bracelet, I called that out as paranoia and said they were being ridiculous. Now we disagree for the first time, and you immediately jump on bad faith accusations saying I'm controlled op. You are trash. You agreed with me that Candace Owens did me dirty and didn't say anything because you didn't want to offend her. There was nothing honest about you. And that's true, by the way. When Candace trashed me, he called me up and...
Total gravity. No, dude. No, not you, dude.
_gravity super chatted $5. It was me. I was the Fed all along.
Here's your sound. This is going to be weird. This is going to be weird. I was wrong. And here's your sound, Extanglia. Look, a lot of it is bred from fear. Fear of being wrong. Fear of being tricked. It's a very natural fear. We have a fear of being tricked. so we automatically label people quickly so that we can say we weren't one of the ones that got tricked. Yeah, I'm wary of Nick Fuentes. I'm wary of Tucker. I'm wary of Candace. I'm wary of Ian. But that doesn't mean that they're not doing any good.
Said, you're totally right about her, dude. She treated you terribly, but I don't want to say anything because she was nice to me.
If you're a Fed, you should be tipping a lot more, dude. You got the full treasury at your disposal.
He replies, he goes, this isn't about you, Nick. Someone killed Charlie Kirk, and it wasn't Tyler Robinson. This is one of the most important moments in our nation's history in our lifetimes, second to 9/11.
Look at that face. But I think it's kind of true. I think it's kind of true. Well, maybe third because of COVID.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is one of the most important moments in our nation's history in our lifetimes, second to probably only 9/11. In our nation's history?
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a little crazy. Ian might be a little bit you know.
I guess in our lifetimes. Yeah, this is bigger than the Trump election and like COVID and yeah, are you kidding me? You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot and you suck and I hate you. Figure your shit out and get your head in the game. Get over your vendetta with Candace. This is bigger than you or me or any of us. These people are crazy. And we have a narrow window of
I don't know. This is weird. This is really weird stuff. This is whack as hell, actually. The entire right is just a bunch of bickering ladies. That's so stupid. There's no charity whatsoever. Crabs in a bucket. You know, the left, the left all support each other's retarded crap. They're like, I'm a freaking Two-Spirit. And everybody's like, we salute you, Two-Spirit. I'm a gay, freaky furry that worships Claire Danes. I've started a church for Claire Danes. And they're like, we support you. As long as you support us. It's a whole bunch of people thinly latched together, supporting each other, no matter how retarded they all are. The right, crabs in a bucket, just tearing each other down. Every single one of them. It's pathetic.
Of time to do something about it. What are you going to do about it? You've chosen to peddle Kash Patel talking points.
Is Ian Carroll seen as right? I don't know. But I see him as somebody who's, I mean, he's talking to Fuentes, you know, and he's pushing people towards the J pill, and he's waking people up in certain ways, even if he's wrong in other ways. Like, are we so supposed to sit here and expect one person to be right on all things? Especially in clout chaser society, where everybody's trying to be the most, have the hottest take as fast as possible.
Well-fed tipped $50.
Dang, bro. Thank you, dude. Here's your sound.
Adak Getaway super chatted $5. Everything Nick said to Ian is what I was thinking about you. JK, love your tone. Pointing out the mute was in fact dumb.
No, you were totally fine to point out the mute. I mean, you were wrong. But I do appreciate when people tell me, oh, your mic's too low. Or it's picking up the gurgling of your insides. You have the compressor on too high. I'm always worried about my audio. This just happened to be a situation where I wasn't. And here is your sound. little thing there.
At Extanglia super chatted $10. The left supports each other verbally and then actually eat each other. The right talks mad s about each other, but we still help them in reality if they need it.
Yeah, which is why when somebody said, oh, crying about Charlie Kirk getting shot, it was like, dude, like I cried about Charlie Kirk getting shot. In that moment, all of a sudden, all I could see was the good in him. All I could see was him being a dedicated father, constantly arguing for Christianity, arguing for a lot of things that need to be taken care of, like mass immigration and stuff like that. And yeah, he had a bunch of things that I freaking couldn't stand. But in that moment, I wasn't thinking about those. I was thinking about the good things he did. And it broke my freaking heart that he got shot. Here's your sound. Actually, Flesh Simulator did a really good thing about this recently. He said the left, it was very interesting. I mean, it was a crazy video. And it was kind of like, what are you doing, dude? You're like, nobody knows what you're talking about. This is complete schizo. Most of the video was complete schizo. But he had a beautiful analogy that the left has an exoskeleton. This thin exoskeleton where everyone is held together. I'll support your BS if you support my BS. But the slightest deviation from that support of that BS ousts you immediately. And so it's easily crushed from the outside. Whereas the right has a skeletal structure, an actual basis. Underneath that exoskeleton of the left is just mush. Just a bunch of mush minds. I'll just leave it at that. A bunch of mush minds, you know? Whereas on the right, there's a spine. The spine is desperately searching for truth. Not sitting here adhering to each other's lies so that you have solidarity as retards. But literally seeking the truth. And different people do it to different degrees. So there's a structural difference. But the influencer thing, it F's it all up because everybody spends too much time trying to just caught up in drama and talking crap about each other, and it's of no value to anybody. Yeah, it may get you more viewers, but it also makes you look retarded to me. And don't you want me to think you're not retarded?
With no realization how dumb and vulnerable that makes you look. He keeps saying I'm vulnerable, which to me indicates you're not familiar with the evidence in the first place. Assuming you're not blackmailed, I'm sure you'll grow through this and come out the other side, and I'll support the great work I'm sure you'll do on the other side of it.
Oh, dang. I guess that's, they're both saying it from their chest. I'll give them that.
If you are blackmailed, I'll support you even more coming out the other side of it. Whatever's going on right now, well, I made a 2-hour video. I said, it's about me because you're accusing me of being compromised with no evidence because I disagree with you. You're talking past that because you know you're lying.
No, it's the rhetoric you use in disagreeing. It's not just I disagree. You're calling everyone who thinks Israel killed Charlie Kirk a retard over and over and over again. That's what you're doing. It's the passion with which you disagree. Like there's no room for it to be true. That's the issue.
Lying about it. Elon, Candace, Tucker, and you are all attacking my credibility simultaneously. Of course it's about me. I'm letting you know you are dead to me. I will repudiate your support now and in the future because you're a dishonest, stupid piece of shit. He replied, he said, I addressed the Fed stuff. Seems like you didn't watch the video, but you do you. There's a joke about 107 friendships out there somewhere. I'll support your work when it's good. I hope it is. I said, yeah, I've been backstabbed repeatedly, including by you. I backed you up and defended you. Then you switched up on me because of the heat of the moment. You can shove your support up your ass. It means nothing to me. You have no integrity as a person. So this is like that. You tell me, but that's a weird conversation. And I'm not crazy, so I'm going to say maybe he's just stupid, but that's like a...
See, that's the thing that I always liked about him. That's sort of like when he's standing in front of Sneeko and being like, no, you're supposed to be my friend. It's like sometimes he'll really speak from the heart. You're supposed to be my friend and you betrayed me. I love that. It's sincere. I love sincerity. In that regard, I see sincerity.
a weird conversation. Because I'm telling him repeatedly, you're making an accusation with no evidence after I defended you. You're betraying me. And he's saying, this is like 9/11, bro. You're vulnerable. Blah. And I'm like, it's really simple. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Am I not owed the same thing? I disagree with you. You jump to, I'm a bad faith actor. Isn't that a little hypocritical? You went through the exact same thing and I defended you.
That was a joke, by the way, Total Gravity. I appreciate your support. That was a Fed joke that that wasn't real.
Now the shoe's on the other foot. You throw me under the bus. You're terrible. And he's just saying all this other stuff. I'm like, it's weird. It's weird stuff is going on, man. And this is why I say don't trust anybody. Anyway, that's just a little taste of that. That was our conversation.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. It's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing, especially when you're caught up in all of it and constantly trying to suss out people's agendas. I don't know. There's always been a part of me that sees Nick as just this young person who's keeps getting betrayed by people, but maybe that's just, I don't know. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's real with these people. Oh gosh, not him. I'm fixing to take back the left. We need both sides. This is interesting. Okay, hold on. We got some Ian Carroll slop.
On a tangent. I'm fixing to like go and take back the left. Someone's got to do it, dude. We need both sides.
I'll take restraint fueled by path to virtue rather than self-relishing sincerity. Word.
Need the conservative rights of the
Bars.
individual.
Bars.
Someone's got to do it, dude. We need both sides. We need the conservative, rights of the individual, conservative values. What's worked before still works. We need that in our lives. But
Yeah, I think he's compromised too. In that way, I agree with Ian Carroll.
we also need the power of collective governance to regulate the too rich and the too powerful, to regulate corporations, to regulate billionaires. We need both sides. We need individual liberty on the right, and we need collective accountability on the left. And we need both of those to be holding the powerful to account to protect the rights of citizens.
Yo, this is in the world brain. This is operating in the world brain. What we got to do, I got a 4-point plan here. What we got to do is we got to take these people over here and do this, and we got to make these people do this. It's like, where's the center? Where's the center that you're operating from? You're just putting your feelers out into the world and grabbing and yapping at all of it. No, what you got to do is become Orthodox. What you got to do is go to church. That's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. Period.
People and their freedom of speech, their freedom of expression, their right to bear arms, which the government shall not infringe, all of the rights that are
Do you guys think I'm being duped? Or do you compromise how, though? I talked about it earlier, Jay Garby. It's the switch up. It's how passionate he is that Charlie Kirk wasn't shot by Israel. There's just something to it. He doesn't just say there's not enough evidence. He calls everyone who thinks that it happened a retard, and he attacks them mercilessly, says they're low IQ. He's literally said that if you think that I'm pretty sure, I remember him saying that if you think Israel killed Charlie Kirk, you should KYS because you're an idiot. It's just he protests too much. So I think that something happened. I think he got a call after the Charlie Kirk thing, and I think they said that was very easy for us, and we can do that to your family too in a heartbeat, and nothing will stop us. So you need to play ball. That's how I feel. I feel like something happened that genuinely scared him. And now he's changing ever so slightly how he talks about these things. I don't know why. But you can't it doesn't make sense to just say there's not enough evidence, therefore all of you are retarded for thinking it. That just doesn't make sense.
Constitutional republic ensure to us. We need both sides of the political bird to be working together for us instead of getting co-opted by the fucking CIA to trick you into believing a bunch of bullshit.
I think he nailed it.
On a tangent.
All right, I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough. So why does everybody hate Ian Carroll? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check my message. I got a secret message. I got insider information, actually. All right. Anonymous tells me, Club Maha podcast and its hosts. In January 2025, 3 individuals launched a weekly podcast and live stream called Club Maha. The name refers to the Make America Healthy Again movement, which focuses on food systems, health. This is too small. I'm going to have to just turn off the display. Food systems, healthcare, personal wellness, and related political topics. The hosts are Ian Carroll, an independent journalist known for videos explaining corporate influence in everyday products and grocery stores. He has appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast. Kyle Kemper, the half-brother of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. They share the same mother. Kemper has worked for years promoting blockchain and cryptocurrency products and has publicly criticized aspects of his brother's policies. Dustin Stockton, a political organizer who has worked on multiple Trump campaign events, Tea Party efforts, and Breitbart-linked activities since the 2010s. Dang, do I have the tea? Yo, is this the freaking spot? Thank you, nigga. The show airs live on X, formerly Twitter, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and is available afterward on YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble. Sorry for saying tea. Its website and episodes discuss health, reform, and politics while still including links in reference to a cryptocurrency token named Maha. Dustin Stockton's earlier project, We Build the Wall. In late 2018, during the U.S. government shutdown, a crowdfunding campaign called We Build the Wall was started. It promised to use private donations to construct sections of a border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. The project raised approximately $20 to $25 million. Dustin Stockton served as vice president of strategy and marketing, and his fiancée at the time, Jennifer Lawrence, the actor, hold on. Hold on, I need to know this. Was Jennifer Lawrence engaged to Dustin Stockton?
I'll search for current information about this.
Unrelated. All right. Okay. Only a short section, roughly half a mile, was built in New Mexico. Steve Bannon later joined as an advisor. In August 2020, federal prosecutors in New York indicted Bannon, the project's founder Brian Kolfage, and two others on charges of wire fraud and money laundering. The indictment alleged that millions of dollars were diverted for personal expenses instead of wall construction, despite public statements that 100% of donations would go to the wall. Stockton and Lawrence had left the project months earlier to focus on 2020 election organizing. Authorities searched their RV at 5:30 a.m. and seized phones under subpoena. Neither Stockton nor Lawrence was ever charged or arrested. Stockton described the search as political pressure related to the upcoming election. The project ultimately delivered limited physical construction and issued some partial refunds. Transition to cryptocurrency projects. By 2024, Stockton had begun working in the cryptocurrency space, specifically political finance, or PolaFi tokens, cryptocurrency tied to political themes or movements. These are digital assets created on blockchain networks, often promoted on social media and known for rapid price changes. Stockton and Kemper helped launch the Maha token, linked to the Make America Healthy Again movement. The token included a built-in transaction fee, a small percentage taken from each trade during its early months. According to public statements at the time, these fees were intended to support bus tours, media efforts, merchandise, and activism related to the movement. Stockton described the approach as using cryptocurrency to fund real-world activities. The Club Maha podcast website continues to reference and link to the Maha token page. In 2025, Stockton and Associates promoted a second token called Patriot. This project was paired with a physical marketing effort, a 15-foot bronze statue of Donald Trump, depicted with a raised fist following a 2024 assassination attempt. Now they got a prophet made of gold, covered in gold leaf and named Don Colossus. Freaking boorish. The statue was commissioned for an estimated $300,000 and intended for display at a Trump golf course in Florida. Crypto payments were involved in the project. By early 2026, the Patriot token's value had fallen to near zero. The sculptor, Alan Cotrill, stated he had not been fully paid. Approximately $92,000 plus related fees remain outstanding, and the unfinished statue remained in storage at a studio in Ohio. Cotrill publicly withheld release of the statue until payment was completed. Insider perspective on the cryptocurrency projects. An individual who participated directly inside these cryptocurrency initiatives has stated that they personally observed project leaders, including Dustin Stockton, reducing their holdings and exposure as trading volume and prices increased due to public promotion. The timing, combined with the transaction fees and subsequent price declines, resulted in significant losses for later investors. The same insider witnessed similar patterns across multiple projects. Promotional activity drew in new participants, followed by value drops after early participants had adjusted their position. No criminal charges have been filed in connection with these specific tokens. Ongoing connection. Ian Carroll has stated in interviews that he stepped away from involvement with any cryptocurrency projects in early 2025 after internal discussions, describing them as highly speculative and potentially harmful to participants. Despite this, the Club Maha podcast continues to operate with all three hosts and maintains reference to the original Maha token on its official site. The three individuals met through overlapping activities in the 2024 political and cryptocurrency environments tied to the Make America Healthy Again movement, and have described their collaboration as focused on health and political discussion. And they said, "You're welcome, nigga." Real. All right. I didn't know that it was like that over here now. I didn't know that I had the inside scoop over here. What do we extrapolate from that? What do we extrapolate from that? Anybody want to jump on Discord and tell and talk about this a little bit? I'm in Broad Street. If anybody wants to jump in Broad Street, we could talk about this a little bit. So basically, he was likely very involved in pump and dumps and working with people who are clearly bad actors. And his rise to mainstream was almost meteoric.
At blood-based super chatted $4.99.
Thank you, man. Here's your sound. If nobody has anything to say, then let's hit the goal and then I'll get out of here. We got 7 from the goal. Now I'm going to do squats. I got you down here. If anybody shows up and has anything to say about it, we can talk about it. In the meantime, I'll play a song. It's another new song. I don't know if it's good. Engage the word, engage the word. 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 I'm no one, I'm no one. 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 Engage with the world, engage with the world. Thank you, Shoreline. Thank you, Beagle. Engage with the world. Engage with the world, engage with the world. Engage with the world, engage with the world. I'm no one, I'm no one. I'm no one, I'm no one. I'm no one, I'm no one. I'm no one, I'm nobody. Oh, your monster shine down. Oh, let your mercy shine down on me. Oh, let your mercy shine down on me. Oh, let your mercy shine down on me. Atmosphere feels like a saw blade shearing. Imagine that cold blaze feeling, like a dentist drilling, that I don't like hearing. Atmosphere feels like a saw blade shearing. Imagine that cold blaze feeling, like a dentist drilling, that I don't like hearing. My life belongs to you. My life belongs to you. My life belongs to you.
let your mercy shine down on me. Oh, let your mercy shine down on me. Oh, let your mercy shine down on me. That I don't like hearing. Atmosphere feels like a saw blade shearing. Imagine that cold blade stealing, like a dentist drilling. That I don't like hearing.
I actually kind of like it. All right, we're 4 away. Thank you, Vigo. Here's your sound, bro. And thank you, Shoreline. Here's your sound. Thank you, Ozzy. Have a good one, bro. Tomorrow we'll be doing a members only stream. I think we might have Snagglebeast and Sweater playing Magic the Gathering on the show, and I'm going to ask a bunch of questions and try and understand Magic the Gathering. Maybe that. There's other things, though. I forget what the other things were. There are other things, I swear. If I can remember them. I might not. Four more. Oh, wait, we got somebody in here. What's up, above man? What?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, cool. I don't know how to use Discord, man. I'm new to it.
No, you're doing fine. You sound good.
All right. I guess about Ian Carroll, man. I think that they're all feds, you know.
Everybody's a Fed. Everyone's a federale. Everyone's a federale.
Explain this in your chat earlier. I think that the way that it works, something happens and everybody gets upset about it, right? And then these people's jobs, they're allowed to tell us more of the truth than other people are. But that's so they can control our outrage whenever something happens. So they can...
Limited hangout.
Yeah, like a limited hangout.
Yeah. Okay. But we don't exist in the 40s. This isn't communist Russia. So what is a limited hangout when you have access to all of these other people and all of them are connected? And one thing leads to another. How many people who watch my show are or were groypers? You know what I mean?
Well, the purpose of them is to collect the majority of people, right? And then control how they feel about certain situations. Like it still is a limited hangout. It still does the same thing because most people go there to figure out how to react.
They just pick a guy arbitrarily. Say, this is my guy who tells the truth. That just doesn't make sense anymore in today's economy.
Well, I mean, think
or
about it.
or in
Tucker
today's
Carlson-
idea economy, rather. Sorry, go on.
So Tucker Carlson used to be a part of Fox, right? So he was on the inside and then he gets kicked out. And now he's on the outside. Now everybody believes him again. When they stop trusting Fox News, now they trust Tucker Carlson.
But is what he's saying not true?
No, what he's saying is true.
So you
He
add
has
that to an information economy where everyone has access to all of it, and what is a limited hangout in that situation?
A limited hangout is the person who tells them how to use the energy whenever an event happens, like who to be angry at. So that's why the fight between Ian Carroll and Fuentes happened. They hate each other now because Charlie Kirk died, and they have to direct all that energy towards each other instead of actually doing something about it.
Mr. Westford said, limited hangout in this economy? So that you're saying they're bickering because they're both playing the same thing. They're both doing the same thing. And so now they have to direct it towards internal drama instead of pointing out things that... But it's not as if that's all they point out. We're just watching clips. I mean, you know, if we watch their shows, there might be a lot more to it. It's just we aren't interested in watching their shows because we're way more tapped in than all that.
Yeah, but their show's purpose is to get the people who are less tapped in than we are, but they're just figuring out about this stuff.
But I think that's a net positive. That's my point. Ian Carroll, we don't even know if he's on the right. He's like practically a leftist, but he's awakened a lot of people to the JQ in his own subtle way. And so I see a net positive. The same thing with Fuentes. I see an entire group of people that know what's going on in the world to a very large extent with a few huge blind spots, but nonetheless, those blind spots knowing most of what's going on with a couple blind spots is better than being completely in the weeds and having no idea what's going on and talking about, you know, transgender bathrooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but I think that what was happening anyways was all this stuff was starting to come out and they couldn't hold it back anymore. So then they create new people to contain what is growing naturally. It was going to come out by itself without these people, right?
Yeah. Well, what if I got big? What if I all of a sudden got a huge audience? Like, go on.
I would say to stay away from the infighting that these people are doing, stay more on the outside and don't get involved in their drama. Just stick more with facts. If you ever get big, you know?
Yeah, that's what I would do. But I'm saying there would be this automatic thing like he's a Fed. Automatically, there'd be all these accusations.
I don't know. I don't really think that most people thought Nick was a Fed until Charlie Kirk happened. And then as soon as he started saying Israel had nothing to do with it, I think that that's when
that's true.
Most people kind of flipped on him.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think I agree with you mostly. I think these people all have clear compromises. And actually, Nick has the least clear compromise. His compromises are he's kind of a clout chaser and he totally switched in a really hard-coded, obvious way once Charlie got shot. Those are the main compromises I see with him. We just saw the more obvious compromises with Ian, which show a lack of scruples at the very least. We know Tucker, his dad's CIA, he used to work for Fox News. I think, and we know Candace was literally Daily Wire. So there's obviously more, those are a little more obvious.
I think that, I don't think that these people come up naturally. Like Ian Carroll, he just exploded out of nowhere. I think that behind the scenes, these algorithms push these people up more because they know that they're going to have control over them. So they let them say, you know, whatever they want. And then they push them to the top while they're getting control of them at the same time, right? Like what they did with Charlie Kirk. Like Israel built Charlie Kirk from the ground up. So I think that they do that with these people too. They just use the algorithms to push them.
Okay, but right now, these people are saying almost everything.
Yeah, but for a reason though.
I don't get the strategy.
It's to control the people who know what's going on so that they can direct their energy, you know?
Yeah. So you're saying a time will come, there'll be a clinch point where all of a sudden they're like, and now this.
Yeah, like I think that, I don't know when, but eventually Tucker's going to do something stupid that just disappoints everybody. So then they'll go to somebody else, like maybe they'll move towards Candace and then they'll follow her for a little while and then she'll do something stupid. And it's like a never-ending cycle of that. So people are always
but built into what you're saying, there is the fact that in this kind of informational landscape that we're dealing with, nobody is sequestered to a single talking head, and they can sense BS. We're constantly have our antennas up looking for BS. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but everybody's constantly falls short on something major. Like Candace Owens was telling the truth about Charlie Kirk, and then she just went crazy. Or Nick Fuentes was telling the truth about Israel forever.
Yeah.
And then he just flipped on that. Or
To an extent. With Candace is the most obvious one to me, because Candace makes all of this stuff seem crazy. From what I've seen, I don't watch her, but from what I have seen, she talks about this stuff and gets lost on these escapades of that just make her look like a kook. And so that helps to kind of wet blanket certain
and
paths.
she's one of the biggest ones. She's got more followers than these other people do. You know.
That's true. I would say, yeah, that's true. More than Tucker?
I don't know about Tucker.
Hmm.
I don't really understand what Tucker's done, because he hasn't. All these other people have done something really stupid, but I haven't seen anything that Tucker has said that's like, oh, he's, you know, anything that points out that he's a Fed, but it's obvious that he is. I mean, he came from Fox News. His dad was CIA, and he wore the Kabbalah bracelet. So.
Yeah. And he totally changed his whole thing up. Like, he was like, like there's an early video of Tucker, and he was just an entirely different thing.
So he's done something that's so obviously stupid.
Files.
But at the same time, he's getting the most flack. So it's obvious that he's a Fed. I don't know what he's going to do, but I think he's going to betray everybody when the time comes, like Trump did.
But how could he? Like, what would that look like? Oh, first off, wait, hold on. Thank you, Average Redhead. Here's your sound. And thank you, Matthew. If it all fails, here's your sound. All right. So what would that look like? How is that like? What would that look like?
Well, it would look like something like Charlie Kirk happening again, you know, and then he just flips on everybody and says, "Oh, you're wrong about this," and he turns against his entire audience. But it doesn't matter, because in a couple of months they'll forget about it and they'll be back to him.
That's interesting.
That's what Nick did. So like, nobody knew that Nick was, you know, a Fed or whatever until Charlie Kirk happened. And then he said it can't be Israel. Like, it's just the same thing over and over again. You follow them until they do something that makes them look completely crazy, and then you just go to another one. It's like corralling retards, you know?
That's interesting. I see Extanglia and Matthew here. Do you guys have anything you want to say?
I like to think of it like they're just trying to get us to do all sorts of switching around and infighting. So like they get you strung along on one topic, and you're like, oh yeah, you're going along gung-ho, and then the person that has been stringing you along for a long time switches the script a little bit and makes 30 million people all of a sudden look like idiots because they were following this guy. And then they go to the next person and repeat the cycle over and over again, so that this group of people can be discredited, because you can look into their past, who they looked up to or followed, and be like, oh, well, you did this and did this and did this, and then you were proven wrong, and then you were made to look like an idiot, and then over and over again. So now everybody is now fighting each other over who's right, instead of actually doing anything productive in their real life, like going to church and raising a family or whatever. And it's just this crazy cycle of, oh, look at this, and I was right, but then I was wrong at the same time. Don't look at that part when I was wrong, because I followed this guy that turned out to be a shill or whatever. And in the meantime, they haven't done anything productive with their life. It's all a distraction.
And do you think it's a deliberate strategy?
Not individually by each person doing the distracting. It's all a big distraction mechanism that is allowed to continue. It's all random actors that are doing this, and the people grappling their hands together are saying, "Excellent, this is working out exactly to our causes."
Wow,
I'd say this might be more like a power grab, like where multiple larger entities are trying to take advantage of this situation, and they all have dirt on each other. So they're each running with all their different tools, and to the spoils whoever can do the most. I think that for all the different governments that have been thrown over in the past 4 or 5 years, I think that there's like a huge restructuring going on somewhere in the background, and then media has always been on the side of those people, and these little things that we talk about day in day out on the news cycles, it doesn't really matter. So we kind of we get roped into it thinking that we have some sort of control over it as long as we keep up with it. But in the end, it's all happening without our input, like
Yeah.
who we think is actually in power. Like it could be, oh, we all think it's the Rothschilds and so, but it could actually be something totally different.
So people are just being strung along with this endless drama, and that definitely serves the purposes of the people in power who are doing all sorts of power grabs and regime changes behind the scenes.
Right. And there's so much chaos, especially lately, that I think right now it's all about trying to keep, good optics on their situation so that when they make the next move, there's so much 4D going on, they can each twist it in whatever way they want. Like just like with all this AI stuff, they can actually make the people think that everything's going to be AI. So now they can't even trust any video whatsoever. So now we're not going to have video for evidence on anything because everything's going to be garbled with all the interference.
Yeah, signal to noise ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's all top down though. I don't think it's natural. Like I know that things like this do happen naturally, but I feel like these people are giving orders, and
But
every
couldn't they
time
just
they give you a little bit of truth, right? Like they say that the official narrative of Charlie Kirk didn't happen. That's obviously true, but then they divert it to something else. So they diverted it to interpersonal drama between them. But every time that you divert from the truth to what I would call a lie, right? Like this is drama between them, but it's bullshit. Every time you divert from the truth to a lie, you get to throw in stuff. Like you get to confuse the situation even more. Every time that they do that, it messes it up. It muddies the water,
Yeah. Wow.
So.
Wow, that's really
Well,
interesting.
news cycles used to be a little bit longer too. Now people can just forget what happened last month because there's so much going on. You're just bombarded with everything.
Yeah, that guy
Stop muddying the water.
that redheaded guy growing with JP or whatever, awakening with JP or whatever. He did a video a couple last week talking about how 95% of searches on Epstein files stopped once the Iran war started. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is just like next thing.
Yep.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say, like switching from truth. So the truth is the Epstein files to the distraction. Every time that you do that, you get to muddy it up, and that would be part of it.
Yeah, but
So
I
people are
mean,
not
to
concerned
engage
about
with
Iran,
it,
they're not able to look at what was going on behind the scenes.
but to engage with it on any real level is a full-time job, and ultimately okay, there's another level to this. People talk about the main idea, and this is what they did in communist Russia, was to make it so propaganda and truth couldn't be separated, and so you just threw up your hands and gave up. So there's that aspect of it, but there's another aspect of that where it's like there's a sense in which that's a good thing. There's a sense in which getting bogged down, constantly trying to get to the bottom of this stack of papers that they hand to you bi-weekly is another waste of your time. And really your efforts and time and energy should be put into prayer and the life of the church, because the only thing that's actually going to change the, the prince of the air is the God of all creation. And so there's a sense where, and this is what I've been working at, kind of like, I don't know, going over in my mind is like, the point of propaganda is to get you to throw up your hands and say you don't care. So that's obviously an advantage to the people in power. But there's also, if you throw up your hands and say, it's in God's hands and I'm going to kneel before the throne of God and ask for mercy, that is a net positive and the best thing we can do. It's literally our greatest gift. So
that's why they continuously try to keep stringing you along, and they give you these little tidbits of hope, and they allow you to pick the people that you watch instead of just feeding you content, the government sponsored content. They allow these useful idiots to be like, it's like democracy in a way where you can just pick the useful idiot that you want to follow so that it fits your lifestyle and narrative choices, so that you don't throw your hands up and give up and then follow the church. That's their biggest thing is the amount of the stacks of paper. It's not just one stack of paper given to you by the government sanctioned information center. It's you got the Ian Carrolls and the Tucker Carlsons, and then on the other side you got the Destinies and all these other people that will give you a sense of following that you can stick to long enough until the next one comes out, and you don't give up on that, and you stay enthralled in that instead of giving your life over to the church.
Yeah. Vigo said no man can
now the Orthodox Church.
Huh?
They're having record numbers of people joining the church. They can't even find the space for them. So
yeah, this will be an Orthodox country. This will be an Orthodox country, and anybody who sincerely searches for the truth ends up at orthodoxy. Vigo said, no man can fathom the mind of the devil. It's pointless to try to outsmart him. And that was something I talked about last week on one of my shows. I don't remember which. Was I had this, this weird demonic attack a couple weeks ago where I could see the multi-level schemes they were doing and how incredibly wily they were, and how I had no chance of getting to the bottom of it. It was like they present you with a rabbit hole and they lead you to conclusions. And it's much the same thing we're seeing in the information world. And the only response I could have was to cross myself and say the Jesus prayer. There was no way I could sit there and parse through it and understand it and outsmart the devil, because I don't understand. We can't really comprehend the level of deception that the demons are capable of. And so, yeah, when it really comes down to it, who said it? Hold on. Mr. Westford said it all depends on if you throw up your hands because you think God is sovereign or Satan is sovereign.
Yeah, I think that I agree with that. One of the things that's really helped me kind of understand on my own what's going on is I don't see things in terms of what's happening anymore. I see it as where do they put the energy? And I started thinking about money as energy also, right? Like I think of everything in terms of energy. And you can see where they're putting the energy to and where they're moving it away from, where they want you to look, where they don't want you to look, and what they're actually doing too. So our entire money system is fake, right? But if you understand how they use it, they don't use it as money because they're not backed by anything. They make it up as they go along. They can print off as much as they want to.
Yeah.
They put money towards things that they try to make grow, and they keep money from people who try to become independent.
Yeah.
So like, what's the point in taxes when our government just prints money anyways?
Yeah.
And the whole credit system is a joke too.
Yeah, it's to keep people from being able to pull out of the system to become independent. They have to keep people who work harder and make more money. They have to keep them as low as everybody else. And then the people
Right.
who don't even work and they live off of welfare, they just give them money. They give them all kinds of free stuff. It's because the money doesn't matter, it's energy. They want more people on the bottom, dependent on the system, than trying to get free from it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's all energy. Like, just over time, start thinking about things like that.
Well, yeah,
Start
like with the
trying
whole
to
credit system, if you're starting out and you're young right now, and you start out with no credit, you get to start with a secured credit line of 250, and then the credit bureaus will say, okay, try to get more of a credit line. So you get more of a credit line, but then your credit takes a hit because now you just have a brand new account on there, and it shows that you have more credit available. So now your credit goes down. So and then it snowballs from there. Every time you get another credit card, it hits your credit. You go and you finally are able to get a car with credit because obviously you're young. You got to start out. Back in the day, it was a little bit easier to get your credit up, but now I think it's rigged completely to keep the middle class below, livable lines,
Yeah.
to where
I
it's
think
hard to even get that credit.
I think that our system's so rigged right now. It's easier for poor people who live on welfare than it is for most of the middle class, even the higher middle class, because they get so much money taken from them.
Well, yeah,
But it's
and
about
that's the
energy. They
ultimate
want to
goal.
encourage.
That's ultimately
Yeah.
their goal, is to have you completely dependent on the government teat. And
That's exactly what it is. Money is like a fence, and like a picket fence. You have the tiger that can jump over the fence. You have the snake that can crawl through the fence. But then you have the cattle that are sitting behind the fence and can't do anything about it, whereas the farmer built the fence and can open the gate whenever he wants.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
the farmer
reminds
wants the
me.
cattle because they're what they eat.
It reminds me of this video of this black girl, and she's like, "White people always getting so mad because we're, ripping off the government and taking all this money and food stamps and stuff." And she's like, "Don't you realize that you can do that too?" And I was like, it made me think, and I actually talked to my priest about it. I was like, is that something we should do? Should we be like fleecing the government as well, since that's kind of the way of the world, and it would actually help us a lot? And I'm pretty sure my priest said no. It was a while ago. I didn't talk. I can't remember the conversation in full. I think we got interrupted, but it was just something, this invitation to the lackadaisical, unthinking lifestyle. Like, why don't you just do it too? We can all just fleece the government and become millionaires and spend our lives in utter meaninglessness, which kind of goes back to my point yesterday, which is there is no outside force pointing you towards a good life. It has to be self-imposed. And that's one of the benefits of the church, is you go into the church and now you have this structure which does expect things from you and does destroy your excuses for being for not being what you know you're meant to be. But nobody's forcing you to join this church. Nobody's forcing you to join this community. Nobody's forcing you to do this. You have to make a personal decision to be the type of people that you want to see in the world, to be citizens of Neo-Byzantium instead of Weimar America. You have to choose that individually, and that comes down to each person.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that completely, man.
That's only half true, because I force my kids to go to church.
Well, I mean, but that's
Yeah.
but I'm saying that's you creating the structure that is desperately needed. Eventually, you will either be part of the church or you won't be part of the country.
Yeah, because they're going to have to build more. They don't have places for everybody right now. They're gonna spread out.
Yeah.
I think that what we need as a people right now is community, and there's no better way to get that than through the church. Like, everything that we do now is simulation. It's fake. It's not real. We talk to people through the internet. You know, like our entire lives are fake. Even our money, it's not real money anymore. It's not even physical money. It's just a number in a bank account, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs something real that can ground them, which is the church, and it's the only chance that we have. Once everything falls apart, the only people who are going to have anything to hold on to are the people in the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I started going to church, it was last August. I was hugely negative on society and people. I had no faith left in humanity at all, and I didn't want anything to do with people at all. And now going to church, instead of being negative about all the people that I see, I'm still negative sometimes, but instead of being negative all the time about all the people that I see, I'm like, there are people out there that are good. And
Yeah.
I didn't have that thought for years and years and years, just because of me just focusing on the bad, but and not being part of any community was the main thing. Now that I have become part of a community that actually helps each other and uh, provides for each other, I want to do the same, and I find myself wanting to do the same more and more, and that's what we need as people more than anything, is a reason to look out for each other than just because we live in the same country, other than just because of our geographic area. We need something in common with each other that we want to facilitate for each other.
Yeah, for the last like 20 years, or at least heavily since COVID, the entire goal of this system has been to fracture people and separate them and pull them apart. And it's been like that forever, but since COVID, it's like really amped up. And they've been trying to destroy communities, which they have. I mean, I don't even think that most people talk to like their neighbors anymore, right? And we've gotten to that point. It's to make everybody feel alone and crazy. So all the stress that they had in their lives just affects them more and more. The
I
only
think too,
chance-
when you start going to church, you kind of open up to also to strangers, to where what you have with the church will emanate to those that don't even know you, that maybe you might have an influence on that you don't know you have, and it can domino into a thing where you might end up getting to know somebody you would have never known, and then it spreads out from there. Just like the way he was talking about how he never had a community, he never got out the house, and then he had the church, and now he's going to put himself in more situations to where he'll come in contact with more people, and they may or may not be in the Orthodox church, but we can pull them into the fold.
Yeah, I mean, they might just see you having a community period, and they'd be like, oh, I need some friends. I need somebody to talk to. Maybe I should go to church with them, even if I don't believe it. At least he has
Yeah,
something.
and that way, right, and that way you don't have to. We're not relying on like big talking heads to try to pull a new revolution or some kind of grift, that they're doing. I don't think even if someone had perfectly good intentions and they became big, they would eventually get touched, and you'd have them, no longer, preaching the gospel and trying to stay on the straight and narrow, like we talked about with Fuentes. Like he, for a long time, seemed like he was the guy, especially for young men. But then it just seemed like everything turned around with him, and we're going to have to do it on a more micro level. I mean, you might have smaller communities, like online communities, or just network of, you like this person, you watch him all the time. He might be a 10,000 sub guy, and then the other guy's a 10,000 sub guy, as far as online is concerned. But if you do it in the real life, I think it counts more.
For sure. Actually, speaking of which, I have to get ready for church. So thank you guys. This was a really good conversation. I appreciate it. It's a great way to close out the show. I don't want to hit the goal because I don't want to dance because I took 2 nicotines and I feel nauseous. So nobody super chat me anymore. And I will see you all tomorrow at the members only stream. Everyone who is a member, Thank you, Extanglia. Thank you, Matthew. And thank you, Above Man, for the very insightful conversation. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're not Orthodox, become Orthodox. If you are Orthodox, go to church. Wait, I gotta raid Shadow Legends. Somebody, real quick.
In a garden brimming with gold and green. No mosquitoes, no predators, no need. I can see you staring beyond my dreams. I can hear you singing.
Any suggestions? I got Rhetorically Defective, No Fugazi, Sam and Nick's Perfect Clips, and Fearless Truth.
See the light like diamonds shine through the trees.
Let's go to Rhetorically Defective. Everybody, convert these people. I'll see y'all later.
Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. Next time that you see me, don't. Next time that they see me, they won't. They won't. They won't. They won't. They